One that I thought I sent you. Should have said that.
All right, let's see here. Done already recording? All right, the time is now 6:31. We are in session. A notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of San Diego, Texas will be held on Thursday, April 9th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, San Diego, Texas, where a quorum of the City Council will be present. All agenda items are subject to action. City Council will also hold a town meeting during the regular meeting to allow for questions and public comments on a potential tax increase proposed for 2026 to support the 26-27 fiscal year budget. You can join the meeting at the Zoom link provided in the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as submitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting and providing comments in person, and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing the city secretary or by calling 210-607-0834 or speaking telephonically or by audio. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act. We did have a call to order. Madam Secretary, may I have a quorum call, please?
Yes, Mayor. Alderman Krickner.
Here.
Alderman Trimbley.
Here.
Alderman McNeil.
Here.
Alderwoman Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Madero.
Here.
City Attorney. Interim City Administrator Dr. Johnson.
Here.
And the City Secretary is there. We have a quorum.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Town hall moderated by the mayor and city administrator to allow for questions and public comment on the potential tax increase for the 2026 tax year to support the 26-27 fiscal year budget. This is not a public hearing on the proposed tax rate or budget that the council will hold prior to consideration and adoption of the 2026 tax rate and 26-27 fiscal year budget. Time is now 6:33. We are in our town hall session.
Mayor, I did have a question from one of the citizens that wasn't able to make it here this evening.
Sure.
This citizen was wondering if there's a possibility to conduct one of these town hall meetings over at the community center during the weekend, like on a Saturday, as Alderman Fillinger had done when he was looking at adding goats to the animal control ordinance. He got good participation and good engagement with them at that time, so that was the ask, if we could consider doing that.
Is there a weekend that they said would work better, or?
No, they would just be grateful if we could do something on a Saturday over
Okay.
there.
So, I mean, obviously, we just want to be careful with how many people attend, but I'm okay with having that. I can lead it if that's the case, or Dr. Johnson can lead it. I think we should probably have one or two.
I would be more than happy to
Yeah.
help with that as well, sir.
Okay, so then, to answer that question, I guess we got to see what's available at the community center. They don't have anything on Saturdays, do
No, they do not do anything on Saturdays.
Okay. All right,
so.
and then,
And then on Sundays, they only have something from 2 to 4, but most people go to church on Sundays as
Yeah.
well.
what time do you think would work? And it's up for everybody, right? If we're gonna have a Saturday one, I want to open to everybody, just again, limit to the number of participants, but what time do you think would be a good time to have this town hall session? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
Probably like roughly 11, you don't have it too early.
I have
Yeah,
it. I'll
that's
speak
a
to
little
it
bit
and let you know if
Probably
you'd
11.
like to print
Just
it
say
and I'll sign it later.
11 to, you can schedule it for 11 to 1, not,
Who
doesn't
knows
take that
what
long,
time?
but
Okay.
Would we all be in attendance?
We could not all be in attendance. I would recommend only 2 council members to be in attendance.
Couldn't we be in attendance if we posted it the 5 days in advance or whatever?
Yep,
It'd be like a meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to do the meeting minutes
right.
and document. We wouldn't have to say everything as
It's a non-regularly scheduled meeting, but it would be the same exact setup I would do.
right, but I'm talking about when we recorded the meeting minutes, would we have to, every comment that the citizens had, or could we just say it's recorded? There was
Oh.
citizens that engaged in conversations from an open meeting act, what would be required in those meeting minutes?
I think we could get with your paper and just highlight what we're having questioning.
Oh, absolutely,
So we
and
can
I've
have
already,
it, have a
Let's
hard
start with the
copy, we
meeting
can have it all.
well, yeah, I'm talking about how we do the meeting minutes, and I've already, my current doctorate level class is about how to do city budgeting, so I already pointed out a few things to the city administrator that I'm learning in this class about how we should be soliciting input from the citizens to make sure that we're better informing our budget by what their considerations are.
I think we should take minutes the same way we do a regular meeting. I mean, we're gonna call it a special meeting.
Right, but do we need to say this citizen said this citizen said that, was my question for the city attorney from an Open Meetings Act perspective.
Well, if it's a town hall meeting, some cities do like a notice of potential forum where all the council doesn't necessarily participate and it's not a formal meeting, but they are hearing input from citizens. Meeting minutes would really just need to take action and those in attendance, but not every comment that goes back and forth.
All right,
I think generally, right, because I think we should take into consideration what they're saying, but I think, like, let's ask them, okay, what's your overall idea, right? Yes or no, or I think we should do this, but that, so that way, you know, citizen 1 said this, citizen 2 said this, citizen 3 said
I
that.
absolutely agree, we need to take notes, but I don't know that needs to be part of the meeting minutes so that we can encourage better participation. Your name's not gonna be in the minutes, post it out there.
Right,
Come to the meeting, have a conversation, we'll make notes of everything that's been said.
but if everybody's gonna be there, I think it should be, no, I agree, I do not think we should list everybody, like Michael Martinez was there, whoever was there, Ashley was there, no. But I think citizen 1 said, I agree, citizen 2 said yes, citizen 3 said, I object. My opinion, right? Because then we can always fall back on it, we could always go to the meeting minutes that are posted on our
Right,
website.
right, and I'll talk to you offline about the recommendations from this budget and financing at local level. Suggestions
Well,
they
anyways,
have about
so
how to
then
get
let's
input.
But
But-
find a Saturday that works in the next few weeks.
And post it as the city attorney just stated, as a unofficial but potential quorum.
Yeah, can you draft up an agenda like that, and then we'll find a Saturday?
And I'll just leave the dates,
Yeah,
time open.
okay.
And we still need to advertise it the 5 days
The
in
5 days in
advance.
advance, yeah. We post that on a Monday?
Where do we
It'll
advertise?
be 5 business days, it's not
Advertise that we're having a meeting where there could potentially,
Three, sorry.
oh, just as we do everything,
So,
any other meeting. It's just considered a
Just
special
on the,
meeting.
just on the city website?
So Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. Post on Tuesday.
No, we have to post the agenda on the city website 5 days in advance, but we will make sure, Lamar's been doing a great job of getting word out there about the
Yeah, I
town
know.
hall. But if we can get the city administrator also to use his account within the mayor, they both have accounts within Nextdoor as well. We can get it on the Facebook page from those folks that have city accounts, so it's officially out there. And not just a Mr. Lamar making comments out there. You get the actual official, because you have a mayor's account.
Yep.
And I'm assuming you have a city administrator account on
Yes.
Nextdoor too, so
Yep.
that'd be officially posting on those venues, Nextdoor, Facebook, saying, here's the city hall. But what I was concerned about was making sure we officially posted the agenda within the required timeline based on the Open Meetings Act.
Are there any other questions related to the town hall meeting? All right, then we're gonna go ahead and action that item to find a Saturday, and then it is now 6:40. The town hall is officially closed. Okay. Citizens to be heard, people wishing to speak may sign up with the city secretary in the time and manner as indicated above.
Nobody.
Do we have anybody that has signed up?
No, sir.
No? Okay. All right. All right, so let's move along. Let's see, mayor and administrator announcements. Dr. Johnson, you want to go ahead and take these?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. So tomorrow, starting at 9 o'clock, Alderman Crickmer, the mayor, and myself will be meeting with the Bear Small County Small Business Entrepreneur Department to discuss opportunities for growth within the community as it relates to businesses, small businesses. So we discovered we have at least 15 small businesses, home small businesses, and we want to figure out ways we can provide grants and other resources for these personnel. I'm hoping that this will lead to other meetings with our residents so we can continue to expand and hopefully get some economic development grants. That's the first one. The next one is our University Health Blood Drive. That's going to be at Tom Rapino Park on April 25th, starting at 10 o'clock. Please come give blood, save a life. So it's an update on the Community Development Block Grant Downtown Revitalization Program that was submitted on last week. There is a resolution that you guys file. I'm hoping to get signed on the next city council, during the next city council meeting. But they have been submitted. You, the council, have granted us permission to go ahead and submit that for that grant, which has been completed. That's all I have, pending any questions.
This meeting is gonna be here?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, if there is no further questions, we will move on to the consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks. It will be enacted by one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. I do want to remove March 26 from the consent agenda to discuss separately.
I didn't, Dr. Johnson, I did notice that you had posted an updated meeting minutes with the other comments that I'm providing. I don't remember which of the meeting minutes that was for.
Okay.
Do you, hold on, let me pull up the email.
We talked about it. What was it?
Item 7B.
February 26th. I think that was February 26th.
Item 6B, yeah, that would be the March 12th and the March 26th are the two that I had comments on.
Okay.
So your updates were included?
No, they're not.
They're not, okay, gotcha.
I checked before I came over. He had not updated those files in the folder.
Gotcha.
So I need to pull
So then we're gonna.
March 12th as well.
March 12th, okay.
So I move to approve item 6A on the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, so I do have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to approve agenda item 6A from the consent agenda, and a second by Alderman Crickber. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. The only comments that I have for 6C is the executive session. So in the top, in the agenda item 8A, there's no motion, no action, but rather it refers to the executive session. However, that's the executive session, that's to be discussed in the executive session, right? There shouldn't be explanations of what was discussed in the executive session. So move that to 8A, so move 9A's comments to 8A. And then if you look at March 12th's City Council meeting minutes, you explained exactly the way it should be, right? So use March 12th's executive session comments as your, as your format, basically is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
And then on 7B, that's the one you were just talking about, sir? I mean, on 6B, the March 12th meetings, is that what you were just talking about, sir?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about 6C, I was just referring to 6B as a point of reference.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about 6C, the March 26th. My comment on the 6C was in item 7B, we talk about, wait a minute, item 7B, developers. We have a motion for the,
this is Citizen Complaint Review Board?
I believe we waived the second reading in that, which, I'm trying to follow my notes, item 7B.
We did.
Right, so the minutes do not state that we waived the second reading so that that ordinance can go through. It's seven D was the one updating the police department and related matters. We waived the second reading on that one. That's the one I was talking about. 7D is in Delta.
So what is your correction?
That it should indicate that the motion include waiving the second reading.
That's what mine says.
Oh, okay. Where's the one? Okay, that one said it. Citizen complaint discussion held. All right, never mind, then I can't find it. I'm trying to read it off. My other issue was with the meeting minutes from, well, I'm looking at March 12th, that's why I'm having issues finding it. Excuse me.
March 26th?
Let me open up the March 26th meetings. That's why I can't find what my issue was. On the March 26th meeting minutes, my comment is related to the, yeah, so 7B on that, or that one. I think we waived the second reading on that one as well, and that should be included if in fact we did waive the second reading. That was my question.
CJ's agreeing.
We did. So I'm saying that item 7B on the March 26th meeting minutes needs to be updated to indicate that we waived the second reading. Then going to the March 12th one, which is the one I had opened in the first place, I'm sorry.
Just approved 8.
We just approved it.
Just approved it.
Yep. So I think,
Oh, okay.
So I would move that the meeting minutes for March 26th incorporate the update that the mayor mentioned, moving the information from the executive session up to item 8. What was it, Mayor? 8?
yeah, from 9A, take the notes from 9A and move them into 8A.
Yeah, move the notes up under 8A, and then also add to item 7B that motion included waiving the second reading.
Second.
All right, so I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem, and a second by Alderman McNeil, to take the 9A notes in agenda item 6C, the March 26, 2026 regular city council and town hall meeting. Take those notes, move them into 8A, as well as add to 7B that we waive the second reading. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Now, I had multiple comments on the March 12th, depends on whether you want to deal with those or not.
Let's just have them take a look at those, and you want to send me a summary?
I already sent it to
did,
him
so
last
just
night,
Just bring them back.
so. Did you have any questions on that
No, ma'am. I
summary
don't.
that I sent to you?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
So we'll see 6B and 6C back on the next one.
So, can we go ahead and pass?
I was gonna say, can we, right, I think we can
Yeah,
make a motion to accept.
I
as
move
amended.
to accept the meeting minutes, March 26th, as amended.
Alright, let's get notes on it. Alright, I do have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem to accept the consent agenda item 6C as amended. Do I have a second? McNeil beat you to it. So I do have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, that motion carries. We will see 6B on the next agenda, next meeting, excuse me. Alright, moving on to 7 staff and committee reports. Let's start with 7A, animal control updates and announcements, and presentation of monthly report. Let's just go through the updates and your announcements, and then we'll see if we got questions. If we got questions.
So, updates, we got rid of all of the dogs except for, I
believe it's 8 dogs we have in the facility, and that's including 1 new one. So we went from 20 dogs as of the 1st to 8, which is really, really good, and me and Cassandra both put in a lot of hard work for that.
You were 13 dogs.
Total dogs that came into the facility was 31. That's a lot of animals to come in and out of here. A lot of the dogs that did come in had, I'd say about 10% of them, they had a microchip. And so if they have a microchip, we were able to get them back to their owner within like 30 minutes of picking them up. So the microchips work. I really hope that more people take advantage of the microchips because they are really cheap here. And it just helps us get their dogs back to them. So I would encourage the citizens to come in and get microchips for their dogs. I don't really have anything else. We did get approved for the grant for the TNR. We're just waiting to sign it, and we have to put it in a separate category so it can't be used by anything else. But we did get the TNR grant. So,
2,500.
yes.
Have we started trapping?
We have not yet because I haven't gotten the grant finalized as far as signatures and stuff goes. So I'm putting it in a special spot so we can use it.
So is that gonna be for the community cat caregivers?
Yes.
Focus is gonna, and you have traps for them to come in and get if they're a registered community cat
Right now
caregiver?
we have 4 traps.
Did the one that you received a couple weeks ago with
Well,
all the
that's-
parts in there?
That, yes,
Okay.
yes, so that'll help. The only thing is we can't utilize that specific kind to take a cat in. It has to be in a true catch trap. So
Okay.
those are kind of hard to find. You have to get them from the website directly, or they're like $100 on Amazon.
Right, but you can use those to lend out to people to
Yes,
catch the cats.
to catch the
and-
cat, and then we can take them in the special.
And what
traps.
brand is that you're saying you need?
It's called True Catch.
True Catch, okay.
They just have these little rings that fall down instead of like the
Oh,
little
yep,
mouth.
yep, okay, I've seen that kind too.
So, yes, I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully we can get all the logistics worked out. If we're gonna take the cats and just have them trap them and bring them to us, which would be easier with, funding the.
Did you
funding
get
the
the
team.
information about where the folks that come and trap the cats for you?
I did not.
Okay, I'll follow up with Gloria and ask her to get that too.
Yeah, I did not get that information.
Any other questions?
How many
Go ahead.
registered feral cat keepers do we
Community
have?
cat caregivers.
Community cat,
Right now we have 8.
8 people
Eight
that will
people have
accept
signed
the cats that you trap and
No,
Maybe
no,
not.
no, 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 that just means that,
That means that they have a feral cat.
They don't have a
at their
colony?
location.
it means they have cats on their property.
Right.
According to the animal control ordinance, and the community cat caregiver ordinance, a community cat caregiver is someone that's been through the training that San Antonio offers and for their TNR program, that they have cats that they're going to take care of on their property,
Right.
that they're obligated to report certain things to animal
That's a
control.
colony. Yeah.
Right, but they're taking care of and managing, providing oversight to these community cats. And they're registered so that animal control won't hold them accountable for having a cat on their property that's not microchipped, that's not neutered, whatever. But now that she has this program, they can work with her to get those community cats on their property, registered, not
Yeah,
registered, but
that's
neutered.
what I was saying.
So,
There's 8 people that,
There's 8, as of right now, there's 8 people who have signed up as a community cat caregiver. There was one lady that came in the other day that signed up that didn't know about it. So she came in and signed up, and hopefully, she said she's been there for a long time, and hopefully we can get her cats started, because she said that she's been paying out of pocket. She's done like 15 cats.
yeah, a lot of us do
So-
that. Do you have some applications that I could potentially take over to the community center and leave there for folks to fill out? We'll make sure they know they have to bring it up here to City Hall to turn into you
Yes.
when they fill it out, but at least they'll have the form.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that would be great.
Because I've heard several folks in there talking about it.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, the more cats we can get taken care of, the better it is for everybody. 'cause
And
we
it'd be
have-
great to know how many people are trying to take care of a community of cats.
Yeah, as far as rabies control goes, it's good to know where the majority of the feral cats are.
Do they get their rabies shot under this?
I think they give it to them with that
When you get 'em
$25.
fixed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did one successfully a while back, and they give them all their shots, and they try to sell you other shots too, but they get the required shots first go out. And I think it cost me like $25 to, I
Yeah.
borrowed a trap from you guys, and so.
But anybody that's a registered community cat caregiver can borrow that trap at no cost. They just need to sign it out, correct? Yeah, so that hopefully will encourage more people to register and use that service.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that because it just helps everybody in the long run, so.
Now we get the roosters and the dogs under control.
There's a cow.
Pigs.
A cow.
There's a cow.
Cow.
I'm not gonna tell you where, but I'm telling you right now, there's a cow.
Oh, gosh.
I did have a question. I'm trying to understand the numbers on your report. You have, in the top part where your spreadsheet is, the total number of impounded is 16, but yet the total new animals taken in is 31. So where did those other 15 cats, or animals come from if they weren't impounded?
So they are part of the impounded, they just didn't get logged. So when I'm looking at the computer, it shows me cases, and that is something that we have to enter manually. So at the time that I did this, those other 15 animals were not logged into the computer. They were only put in as intakes. So the intakes and the impounded should match, but when it says case, it only gives me one case, but I could pick up 6 dogs on that one case. So that's why it shows a discrepancy in your impounded versus how many animals we had come into the facility. Because there's only one case.
Okay,
Even
so
though I'm
it's
picking up-
cases
Yes.
that are impounded.
Yes, so,
Because the line underneath it says citation and impounded cases, and that's only one.
yes, so.
So
what-
together, that's still 17.
Yeah, so when it says, these up here are calls for service.
Calls for service. Okay, so you
Yes.
had, okay,
So-
got it. That explains it.
Yeah, so
So you had
at that
17
one
calls for
call, I
service.
can pick up 4 dogs, but it's still one call for service.
Okay, all right. So calls for service.
Yes,
Understood.
so that's why it's a little bit different, because it's calls for service versus animals actually picked up.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
You've shed some light on the one euthanasia.
Yes, so the euthanasia, we had 2 euthanasias for the month. I don't know if it says 2 or 1 on yours.
This is one.
Okay, I might have adjusted it. Mine was paper copy before I sent it over. So the one dog that we had euthanized was a dog that several people have called me about. Mr. McNeil, you called me about him specifically, the dog that had his paw injured. We did finally catch him. It took one of the officers and me and Cassandra, all 3 of us working together, to actually get in touch with the family who owned him. And me and Cassandra chased him for about an hour and a half. And we finally cornered him under house, and we were able to get him out. And that is why he was euthanized, because his paw was no good anymore. So
Were they fined for not keeping control of that dog or doing that, or at least pay for the euthanasia?
yes, so I am trying to pursue animal cruelty or neglect at minimum, and then get the fees back for the euthanasia.
Thank you.
Because they were told multiple times that the dog needed to be taken to the vet, and we even helped them catch him previously, and they didn't.
I had heard citizens at the community center talking about that poor dog, so a lot of people have seen that poor
Yeah,
thing.
and
So
he was
it's very-
fast. He only had 3 legs, but he was very, very fast. So we were lucky that we caught him, that we were able to.
Yeah, but
corner
that's a
him.
shame.
Yeah.
Proper care in a timely manner could have saved him.
Yes.
That's right.
All right. Any other questions for animal control? All right. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate it. We're good to go, although it is raining outside.
I think I'll wait.
Yeah.
It's warm.
Yeah. All right, let's move right along to animal shelter. Well, hang on. Let's work with the G, Public Works updates and announcements, possible discussion and action. Ms. Rink, you do have the floor.
Good evening, council. My crew have worked on the community center ramp. We were replacing a few of the boards, but in doing more research into replacing a few boards, I made an executive decision to go ahead and replace all the boards on the actual ramp itself. They were in pretty bad shape, along with the top rail. When we get some better weather, the game plan is let the wood settle, and we plan on painting it. Got with Alderman Kirkmer, and we discussed about painting it and putting some sort of grit inside there so it's non-slip. My team also, I don't know if any of you have been to the park lately, but it took us a while to get an area cleaned up, to see more of the walking trail. It's in between the community center and the restrooms. If you're looking straight ahead as the trail starts, that whole area on the right side of the trail, that has actually been cleaned out. Got a lot of added employees for that, because we have a lot of elderly couples that walk early in the morning in the park. So they were very excited to have that cleared. Also, there is a discussion for the walking trail, and going back to an email that I sent the mayor about a quote, and that is for the material, or whatever material would be required to put down on the walking trail. And I think I've made a couple of comments about it to say if y'all approve it, support it, and the mayor indicated it was approved, it was in my budget. I think there is a misunderstanding of the approval for that. The email I sent the mayor for that material was for actually road base. I did get a quote for a dump truck of material, and that material alone for that dump truck is $800. And with gas prices the way they are, of course, we're gonna pay that. I had here a quote for 3/4 to dust road base for roughly, it was $623. And that was road base of a quote for the roads with the repairs with asphalt. So I've been asked by Pro Tem Mayor about that walking trail, and I'm just a little confused. If it's in my budget, I don't see how, when it's $800 for a dump truck of material, and this is road base. This is 3/4 to dust road base.
I thought the walking trail was decomposed granite, no?
And I contacted a company called Shady Oaks off of 281. We got a pretty good deal on that, to have road base brought to the maintenance yard, so that was delivered. And I got a quote from them for $800 for smaller material that'll compact a lot better. But I would like to be able to address the walking trail issues, but I think I'm gonna need a council member.
No, I don't think so. It's in the parks, the maintenance budget, right? We got money in the maintenance budget for the park. So, I mean, I think if it's just like the road base was a part of your budget for roads and repairs, I think that's a part of your budget for maintenance and repairs for the city park. It's not your budget, right? It's the park for maintenance and repairs. So, I mean, I think we have the money there for those specific purposes. I don't think we've used any of it. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
we can put it on the agenda item if you'd like to discuss it more, but otherwise, I don't have a problem with it, right?
Yeah, right. No, I just want to make sure it's clear that, that quote that I gave was for road base
Okay.
only. It's not for the walking trail. So, yeah,
So, okay, yeah, let's talk some more about that, but if we have to get it on an agenda item, we will.
sure, no problem. We also worked on, we are currently working on the animal control facility out there. Animal control had a dog that destroyed a couple of cages out there. So we're doing, maintenance on that, and, it's tying the guys up on that. They also had a, what is it, a 6x10? That same dog demolished, and so we're doing repairs to, try to fix that and salvage it, because those cages aren't cheap. We also fixed a area outside of the animal control, stepping outside the door and giving them a better platform to walk on. And I think that's pretty much it.
Any questions for Public Works?
No, but I have seen that ramp. It's great work. I told Michael when I saw him over there, when Lucy was out there, that it looks really good. So appreciate the work you guys did to get that safe.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. We are trying to work on getting that cover put up. Thank you, John, for donating the sheets of metal. We're just tied up in doing the animal control facility right now.
No hurry.
So
No
we'll
worries.
get to it.
Thank you for what you do as well. Appreciate your time. All right, so let's bring it back to the top. Animal Shelter Advisory Committee updates and announcements for possible discussion and action. Alderman McNeil, you do have the floor.
So we had our meeting on, our first meeting of the year, or my first meeting ever with animal control, so. I think it went well. We had the right people there, the veterinarian and the animal advocacy, and myself and Ashley. The minutes are in there, if you got questions on it. We kind of went over some of the stuff that we've discussed in council before, with like the shelter, and I talked with Jermaine too. I think we needed a couple more quotes for I think we just have like one quote for the shelter, for a new shelter, but I think we're supposed to have like 3 quotes from different people or something, or we try to move forward or anything like that. Then looking into several different grants, things like that, trying to get some money to help with some of this, so trying to do some research on that. If you got any specific questions on what we discussed, I'm happy to try to answer.
So I had a couple questions. So, by the way, love the meeting minutes. Great job. Happy to see that we're making some progress with this Animal Shelter Advisory Committee. Let me start off with that because it's been a long time coming. So thank you for stepping up and doing this. Under your discussion on animal-related programs and funding, item C, you're talking about the mobile veterinary services. You're talking about a Floresville-based mobile. Is this the same one that Ashley was trying to get out here earlier, that
No,
was gonna have a requirement
was
and
the-
limits?
This was the animal advocacy representative that's here that brought that up, so.
Okay, so it's different, because there were,
It's a different one.
yeah, there was like limits, we had to have so many, and we had to pay in advance, and
Yeah,
there are
there's
gonna be
a
a
lot
lot
of good
concerns.
ideas, fairs coming up during the meeting with different stuff we could do, or try to do, and reach out. Vet was like, try to work with, find vets that would get a tax break or something to come over here.
I saw that,
Yes.
going to students too,
And,
as another method, especially for community cats. I also noticed you're talking about the future shelter planning.
mhm.
Are we looking at doing a building that's gonna accommodate those modular kennels that Ashley found for us last year? Or are we looking at something, a different approach?
I think the original one was that, was it 20?
So that was a new,
That's a new one.
that's a new one. So the modular building,
Not the modular building, but there's modular kennels that you
those-
could adjust, a building to put those
Yeah.
into.
that one, I did have the quotes for that one, but this one was a quote for just the whole building already ready to go. Similar to what we have out here, but with upgrades that would prevent the damage that this one already.
Well, the one that's out there now was designed for breeding kennels, not for
Yes.
animal control. So I
Yeah.
assume that if we get one that's animal control, built, it's gonna be sturdier. So you're looking at a different option and not doing a building with modular panels.
I was just looking at different options.
Absolutely, and that's great. I was just wondering what we were looking at and
I
considering.
figured-
Yeah, we're trying to, like I said, I think by law, we're supposed to get more than just one quote.
It depends on the price.
So we'll do that, and then some of the other things that the vet and the other lady brought up was like, try to plan for the shelter to have a place for like quarantine for rabies and stuff, because we could make money off of the city could make money off of that too. A place for them to do even surgeries, like they could come and do spay and neuter, on a weekend or something like that. So they were trying to give us ideas to what to try to include with the shelter. But I'm still gonna try to do some research and see if there's some grant money out there that we can't get to, because it's expensive, and then something that was brought up, it may need its own septic system out there and all that. So.
Yeah, but I think you're getting a lot of great ideas, a lot of great engagement, so I appreciate you taking care of all of this.
I would recommend stainless steel sheeting for covering everything.
Yeah, they brought that up too. It's stuff that won't rust.
Not
And,
yours.
Well, it's also hygiene, easier to disinfect.
Okay.
They won't tear it up.
Maybe we should get a consultant to kind of draft up an actual building, right? Kind of maybe talk to Henry, right, since he drafted that one, and see, what would they charge? Somebody charge to actually say, okay, this is what we want, this is the square footage, and then we can actually price it right. Now, this is thinking more future, like if we could get the bond passed, not what other building can we replace this one with, but this is actually office space, display cases, dog shelters in the back and things like that. So maybe that's the next step to look into. Any other questions for Animal Shelter Advisory Committee?
Good job.
Good job, for sure. All right, then let's move along to code enforcement, updates and announcements and presentation of the monthly report, possible discussion and interaction. Officer Aguilar, official Aguilar is not here today. However, I think Dr. Johnson's going to take over the explanation of his report, or if we don't need the explanation of the report, we can move along.
Self-explanatory.
I give everyone a minute to look at it. Let me know if you have any questions.
I appreciate the report and the additional information provided.
Yeah, he's getting after it.
Yes.
And as I mentioned to the chief, I would look forward to any feedback he might have on our ordinances that he's trying to enforce, because I know he had some comments on at least one of them. Would love to hear from him on those.
Yes, ma'am.
And that fence ordinance is an issue, trying to determine if they're
It's not on the
grandfathered
agenda,
or
we
not.
can't talk about it. So, but yeah, I'd just love to hear from him on any of them, because he's been doing this for a while. As the chief has indicated, he's got lots of experience, so I think we can benefit from his insights.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there are no questions for code enforcement, then we will move along. Moving on to financial report on income and expenses for March 2026, possible discussion and interaction. Madam Secretary, you have the floor.
Okay, all right, starting on March 1st, the beginning balance was $643,648.52. Checks and payments cleared were $217,865.59. Deposits and other credits were $88,163.15. And the ending balance as of March 31st, 2026 is $513,946.08.
I did have a couple questions.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking at the second item. It's the Quick Trip Right Express Fleet, $900. Quick Trip is typically our gas. Is our gas cost going up that much? That is our gas fee. Yeah, something keep
And
in
they're-
mind is
and
this
the
OEM, I mean,
Officers are out there more, and now we have the code enforcement, and so.
multiple things increasing,
Yes.
so another thing to consider with our budget for next year. We have a TML intergovernmental risk something, about halfway down to $8,884.75. What is this?
Part
I
of
haven't
that
seen it
is our
before.
workman's comp payment that we pay for workman's comp to be covered, and the other part, which we did you bring that?
Insurance liabilities,
Yeah,
yes.
it's the insurance liability, that was like $5,000 something, so.
But how come we haven't seen that before, that particular item on here
Um,
before? Is it just buried,
Well,
clumped
I
in with some
think-
of the other
Quarterly,
TML
right?
payments?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
It's just included in other TML payments?
Right, and then probably it didn't print out before because of the way, now we have frost and it prints it out
Oh,
different.
because you
Yes,
have to,
right.
okay, it's better printout. Yeah, I do love the improvement in this report, you're doing a great job
Oh,
with it, so
thank you.
thank you for taking the time to figure that out. And I also see, and again, this is not something I've seen before, multiple payments going to the Great American Financial Service.
Right.
Each recurring payment, it seemed to be the same amount a couple times each time. What is that going to?
That's the monthly payment for the printer that we have in the hallway for everybody to use. That's a
The two
contract.
printers.
Okay.
Yeah, the true printers, so, yeah.
Okay, so we're paying a monthly fee for that. Okay, so that's why there's two payments of the
Mm-hmm.
same amount each time. And does that include all kinds of maintenance on it and the ink
Yes,
supply,
yes,
everything? It
yes.
covers everything that we
Mhm.
need for the printers. Okay, and then there's a bank service charge of $393.
I called about that one, and that is all the ACH service charges that they charge us for ACH payments, positive pay, and the commercial online banking.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did remember reading that in their proposal to us. Victor Insurance Management?
That is a notary for Dr. Johnson.
So now both of you are
We're all-
authorized notaries
right.
here in City Hall?
And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
is the court clerk too as well.
Oh, the court clerk as well, so we have three
Yeah.
notaries available in the City Hall,
Yes.
that's great. And TML Region 7, a $50 charge on the top of second page.
That is the membership for Dr. Johnson to be a member of that, for Region 7, for TML Region 7, which is here in San Antonio.
What does that get you being that, because I don't know that anybody else is a member on TML, is that something that the alderman should consider?
Yes, ma'am, you can, yes, all elected officials are, you can get membership. The reason I do it is because every city manager or city administrator within our region, we meet up together, have monthly meetings to discuss. We get the latest information, what may be coming down, and I normally would provide that information to the council. But
Sounds like something really important for you to have, maybe not so much for us to
Yes.
spend the city money on. And then the other thing I've noticed on here is towards the bottom, it was the one deposit that was handwritten in. This is something I've never seen on any of our
Texas Towing.
reports before, is the Texas Towing and Wrecker. We got $8,000
Yeah.
from them.
From them, yeah. They said that maybe we were
How
a
long
little
have they
cheated
been-
on,
How
cheated
long
on
have they
that
been
one.
servicing us, and this is the first time
Over
we
a-
got a check?
Over a year.
3 years.
Where,
No,
3
well,
years?
this
Longer?
is.
It's been before
This has
me, and
been
I've been here
before
2
Mickey.
years.
Or during Mickey's tenure. So and to be fair, they did their own reconciliation. I really think we should do our own reconciliation, but.
Because we have a contract, and you're saying they're not responding in time. This is the first time we've got a check from
So,
them.
so
This is from
This
day
last-
one,
back
that
on the agenda.
contract.
Yes,
this
ma'am.
last time, they were really quick to respond this past weekend, right? So, but, yeah, I have no clue how many tows have been towed, because this goes way before I was here.
Are we
I
gonna
don't know how
start
many
accounting for this now that we know?
Now that I know,
Now
I
that we
never
know.
knew we had a contract.
We have a contract, we all know this now.
It's
We
been
do
until
need a new one.
August, I wanna say.
Yeah, we'll need to get a new one and get that taken care of, but, so we're, yeah, that's good to see, great to see. Hope we're tracking it now so we can get more. Thank you, that's
You're
very,
welcome.
very thorough answers, I appreciate it.
The only questions that I had, are really not even questions, but Dr. Johnson, if you could clean up the, which one was it? I think it was the budget to actuals. I want to say it was in there twice. Yeah, it's in there twice. And I don't know why. So it's, the PDF that you provided is in, it should be 6 pages long, but it's 12. Because it goes through revenue twice, it goes through the expenses twice, so before you post that, I would say clean that up, please.
Okay, sure will.
Yeah, I didn't have time to look at those two reports since they were just added last night.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I did, so there's a couple issues that I don't like, that we can talk about, and they're mostly just kind of administrative stuff, right? So if you, and I don't think, are you looking at the report?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, so on page 1 of 12, for under court, the 7359 needs to be in your fines and fees, right? It should not be in its own line item. So you can see it has no budget, so that needs to move. Same thing for, what is this page? We're still on page 1, kind of midway through. You have a general fund revenue city for 876324. Again, it doesn't have a line item. It's on its own line item, but it doesn't have a budget. There's another item. Give me a second. There's an interest expense for $58,382. Again, that's on its own line item. This is on at the end of page 1, at the very bottom. Again, it doesn't have a line item, right? There's no budget for it, and so I don't think that goes there. That's under interest expense, so that doesn't make sense. Let's see here, clerical salaries and TMRS. Again, that's on a separate line item. This is on now page 3 for $1,572.53. Again, it's on its own line item, has no budget, so that doesn't belong there. The city administrator TMRS has no value to it, right? So meaning it's probably lumped in somewhere else that needs to be broken out, so that way we can track your TMRS spending. Contract services still on page 3 for $1,014.52. Again, doesn't have a budget, so it needs to be put somewhere else. I thought we had a quote for audit services for $11,700, and 400, excuse me, and they charged us $11,700. It's $300. It's immaterial. However, I want to say that the $11,400 is the correct price. So, do you know of anything that they could charge us more for?
You know what that might be? That might be QuickBooks, the fee that Alexis charges. That might be the $300.
Maybe there's something else in there. That's
Yeah,
a good point. Okay.
yeah,
I'll
that might-
check that, because I
okay.
thought I remember seeing the invoice of $11,400. That's a good point. There might be something in there. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all the issues that I saw. Right, again, right, there shouldn't be anything without a budget. If it's without a budget, then there should be an amendment or something like that. So just check on those items. Like I said, this report is in there twice, so it needs to be cleaned up. And I think before we post this, those transactions need to be moved to their appropriate line items.
Sure will.
So that would include municipal court expense?
The 100,000?
100,000.
No, yes and no, right? Like we should move that, but that has nothing to do with municipal court expense. What it was, that was the $100,000 that we took from Chase and we transferred to Frost. So there's really not a line item for it. That's why I say yes and no, right? Could we find somewhere to put it? Sure, but I think that's really the best place to put it for now. So those are the only points that I had on this income report. And then on the statement activity detail, you provided statement activity. Here. Okay. You provided statement activity fiscal year to date, right? However, this report is reported monthly, so there shouldn't be 6 months worth of data here. There should be just the March data, right? Does that you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, so just this
So
month only, yes.
Just March should be in here because we use this to track, which is now it's easier to track the original report that Delma goes through. right, the reconciliation to the SAD, right? So if this one has multiple months of data in there, it doesn't track as easily.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a tie-out. So I don't know if you want to make those changes, then we'll just bring it back to the next one.
Sure will.
But don't we only need to make a motion to accept what
Yes,
Donald
sir.
presented? Does a motion necessarily include the other two that he's presented? Or am I just approving the reconciliation report?
True, yeah,
Okay.
I can live with that.
I would move that we accept the city secretary's reconciliation report.
A second.
So I got a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Crickmer to accept the city secretary's reconciliation report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. I do have one more, I don't think we can really discuss it here. You tell me if this is something we can discuss. Should we discuss the financials at the first meeting of the month or the mid-month meeting? And the only reason why I say that is because it's a crunch. It's a crunch in the first 5 days to get it out, and then you don't have it in time.
I would rather have it at the second if we can legally do that, and then just present it as soon as she gets it done, even if it's earlier in the month, so we have sufficient time to go through everything.
Yeah, because like, getting it by today, right, like by the first meeting is easy on this day, but the first few days, especially when you consider a weekend, it's hard. It's hard to get that, because statements got to we have a third party that reconciles that's not here, right, and so it just makes it a little bit difficult. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know if legally there's a reason why we can't or can, but
I would,
right, I think as long as we provide it.
as long as we do it, I would prefer to have more time to review it, because there is a struggle to get it to us in a timely manner. I don't know everyone else's thoughts.
Yeah, I would think the second meeting would make it easier for.
Yeah, and then you can actually post some questions, and we have time to dig into them and, you know, actually provide answers.
Do we need a motion for that?
No, he just needs to adjust the agenda as long as the city attorney says it's legal. Because that's nothing written in code that needs to be, it's not even a resolution, nothing, as long as we're covering it.
Would you like to move all reports to the second meeting, just so it's synced, so we have a meeting full of all reports, or just stick with
If we split it
financial?
up, it'll be-
Yeah, it'll make both meetings long, so.
But maybe not as long now, because we're not doing all of them. But I would think the investment report would be better at the second month, because like I have a change,
Oh, yeah.
because I just now got the data.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, but that's only quarterly, no?
It's only quarterly, correct?
Still, but we could do it on the second.
Do the ones related to money, so that we can reconcile everything in time for the meeting.
So you want to just move the financial reports, financial type reports to the middle of the month for now?
Unless others think that the other reports need extra time.
Yeah, that'll help us a lot.
Now let's do that. All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yep. All right, so then let's move along. Park Advisory Committee update, agenda item 7E, updates and announcements with possible discussion and action. Alderman Crickman, you do have the floor.
Okay, there was, at the park meeting, April 7th, Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the Sandy Oaks Community Center. There were 5 of us in attendance. Was 8 items. First one was ground cover, wood mulch for the exercise area. So we need to determine how much we need, find a vendor, and et cetera, et cetera. I can go out there and measure it. It's gonna be in yards, and I don't know how much it costs, but the wood's probably the cheapest.
Do we want
Or the rubber, but the rubber's probably more expensive.
Shouldn't we evaluate that the same way we evaluate the playground equipment and what's safety for that? And didn't our code enforcement officer just go to that safety training?
he's gonna go.
We're gonna get the park inspected, and that may come up. What's the best way to go?
I know the playground guy, when we were talking to him a long time ago, he said we should probably get rid of the wood because it's nasty, right? Like cats
Mhm.
in there.
It's organic.
It's organic, right?
Mold decomposes, absolutely. I would recommend we go with whatever's recommended for a playground.
Okay.
Even though it's not designed for kids to play in.
Wood was
Kids
there
play in it.
originally,
Absolutely.
and part of it is also decomposed granite. one section, the upper section's decomposed granite. So we can go with whatever we decide.
I think researching it more is what we need to do, but yeah, because I think we do need to move away from the mulch.
Okay, the committee members were interested, since the walking trail has been cleaned out and visible, they're interested in 2 of these plastic coated metal benches, 6-foot benches. And everyone on the committee is researching and looking, and we found some, Ann Garza has found some more inexpensive, better priced options than the ones that I found. They start at about $650, and she found some that are closer to $300.
Can we repurpose the benches that are just sitting at the old mini golf course? Or putt-putt golf, whatever you call that thing.
I don't
Because
know.
they're just sitting there staring at the back of some guy's house. That's where they're facing.
I don't know.
Are they loose?
We want something this is like an open mesh, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
the,
like
where
our,
the smoking.
yeah,
I just asked that you go look at them and consider
I
them as
will,
a possibility, because then we
Okay.
can get Public Works just to lift and shift.
Okay.
rainbow.
The ones that we're looking at with the plastic coating are fairly graffiti proof, because there's no solid surface.
Yeah, but these are ones we already have. We wouldn't have to come up
I
with
don't
extra
have a
ones.
problem with that. I'll bring it up with the ladies and see what they
But,
want to do.
yeah, just look at them first, though.
Okay, next, the entrance sign. So I have a tentative vendor,
That's a separate
installer,
agenda.
fabricator for the sign. He just notified me that he got his insurance. His bid is not to exceed.
Can we talk about that when we get to 9E, because it's a separate agenda item here.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
You're running the show. We did discuss that. Okay, next is the donated R panels, 22 feet long, 3 feet wide. There's 2 of them for the maintenance department to do whatever they choose to do with them. Also, I was supposed to speak with Priscilla, Public Works, availability about painting with a non-skid material
she mentioned
on
she
the
was gonna
new,
do that.
yes, she mentioned that. And so I haven't talked to her, but she's mentioned it, she's aware of it. Discuss continued work repairing on the walking bridge and the putt-putt trail. That's kind of a safety hazard, because some people want to get out there and play on it, and they could hurt themselves. There was some plastic, barrier tape, but the wind blew it off, so that needs to be secured. And
Do we need that bridge?
no, we don't need that bridge. We could take it out. We don't use that area, so that's another issue.
So,
Do
yeah,
whatever
save the
the
expense of fixing it.
Whatever.
Because all the boards that go across it are gone, because they were rotting. They had to be pulled out, because that was more of a safety hazard.
Somebody has started putting new wood on there. There's about 4 boards on one end. So either we continue with that, or we can take the whole thing out. It doesn't matter to me.
I think we remove it. So if it's a safety hazard, just.
Yeah, unless there's a reason, does that section flood or something? Because
No.
there is a dip area that
It's
is
a low
going over,
spot, so people are gonna be walking down and coming up, walking down, coming up, or whatever.
if anyone walks over there.
I don't know if anybody wanders back there, but, I'll mention it and see I'll talk to Priscilla, I'll talk to the ladies on the committees and see what they wanna do. But I just assume take it out. Doesn't matter. And, that's it. The next meeting is scheduled for 5 p.m. Tuesday, May 5th at Sandy Oaks Community Center, 4451 Hickory Haven Drive, Sandy Oaks, Texas 78112. We adjourned at 5:29 p.m.
Hey, John, if you want, I'll send you, I was looking into it a month ago or something, at the Texas Parks and Wildlife, they have some grants out there. And I can send it to you just so you got the information on it. I don't know how good it would work first, because it might be one of those matching funds type thing, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, what is it for? Can we use it
To the
for a
park.
new playscape or something like that?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I don't wanna speak with not really knowing it all, but
Yeah,
I've downloaded it here a month or so ago.
I saw that. That'll work. That's all I have.
Any other questions for John? Alderman Corcoran? Sorry. Alright, then we will move right along. Updates, police department updates, announcements, and presentation of the monthly report with possible discussion and or action. Chief, you have the floor.
Thank you. So as far as updates go, our E-Force was updated to add our animal control personnel and our code enforcement personnel on there. So they're not using it yet. It's going to take a little bit. I have to first get all of our ordinances input into it manually. But they're updated. We had our first half of our T-Code audit yesterday. They're gonna come back in 3 weeks and do the second half. So far, everything's looking good, looking great, actually.
What are they looking at with that audit?
So they audited us last year, but there's different divisions. This is an entirely different division. So they came in to make sure all of our personnel files up to date, our record files. Last year was more of a checking the evidence room and that type of thing. This time it was personnel files. And they're going to come back in 3 weeks for policies and procedures. There's about 13 policies and procedures that T-Code mandates we have. So that's in 3 weeks they'll be back for that one, which we should be great on that as well. Yesterday as well, our new body armor finally came in from the grant. So,
Nice.
oh, she's not wearing it right now. But it's really good stuff. So that's updates and not done yet. I do want to give a toot the horn of the police department here. This past month has been a really hectic month, but each and every officer did something out of the ordinary and excelled in their, in police duties. Rick, as we know, great investigator. He did have a case he's been working on for several months. He was finally able to not just identify the suspect, find out where the suspect lives, what he drives. It took forever. Excellent job there. Officer Franco, this past weekend, before I get to that one, let me start with Sergeant Palomares. The weekend before, there was over $20,000 of merchandise stolen from the Dollar General. So she gets surveillance footage. The following day, she's out on patrol. She finds the truck and trailer on the surveillance footage and pulls it over. And lo and behold, the guy's wearing the exact same clothing he wore in the surveillance video. So we brought him in, and get this, we didn't just get a confession. We got him to confess to 5 other Dollar Generals. The one in Elmendorf and 3 in San Antonio. So great job.
Great job.
And I'm sorry, to make it even better, after all the confessions and stuff, she and I went to his house. We searched his house, nothing there. About 3 days passed. He brings all the stolen merchandise back, and we return it to Dollar General. So they got the stuff back. So that was just, that was just good patrol work. But it doesn't end there because
20 grand worth of at the Dollar General in that Conex outdoor storage thing or what?
that stuff, you know, those metal things they used to store. They took
carts?
52 carts, and we got all 52 back. So.
$20,000 worth of bread.
So that was a great case. These next two are even better. Easter Sunday, everybody knows the shots heard calls that we get, around town. Another one comes in. Officer Franco, he responds to the park. He sees 2 individuals. Make a long story short, he asks them, "Hey, you guys have any weapons or anything?" There's a report of shots fired. Of course, they say no. He goes to pat them down. Finds a gun, it's emptied clip, makes an arrest for unlawful carrying of a weapon, so on. So we got a gun off the street there. Same day, Easter Sunday. So that was Officer Franco's time to shine there. Same day, Easter Sunday, we had 2 stolen vehicles. She's at one vehicle processing it. Andrew's at another one. They call me at home. I respond. your chief finds all 3 suspects. There you go. So there's my time to shine, right? So I'm in my personal vehicle though, and couldn't really do much. So I'm calling Cece. She responds, lights, sirens. We take them down. Again, loaded handgun in one of them's pockets. Got another gun off the road. Got 2 bags of drugs off. Recovered 2 stolen vehicles. And one had a warrant for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Another one had another warrant for something else. So anyway, Easter Sunday, 4 arrests, 2 stolen vehicles, 2 bags of drugs, and 2 loaded firearms off the street. So these guys did a heck of a job this past month. So I just wanted to toot their horns on that. And that's all I have for updates.
Were any of these suspects citizens of Sandy Oaks, residents?
The lieutenants is. The lieutenant's aggravated sexual assault is, and Andrews was with the gun at the park. The stolen vehicle one, no, they were from San Antonio.
Not
But
the bright
they
guy
did
who
steal
stole
a car
Dollar General. He
from
did.
one of our residents in Sandy Oaks. So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Are we allowed to ask, like, I heard going to work the other morning, like 5 in the morning, helicopters in there, somebody said there was a raid across the freeway.
If there was, they didn't notify us, so I don't know anything about it, right? So it could have been ICE, it could have been Bexar County, it could have been SAPD, it could have been narcotics related, or it just could have been an arrest warrant that a lot of times they'll do a search for a person, right? So it's still a raid, but not like a narcotics, but it's for a person. I know I've been on plenty of those as well, so. But no, they didn't notify us, so I wouldn't know.
I noticed his report is in here twice. I didn't see a difference between the 2 though. So it's the same thing. Okay.
So one of them has our city ordinance violations on the bottom of it, the other one did not, and that's for Mrs. Walker's
okay,
purpose.
Okay, got it. So that one, okay. But
Those are
he had
your
the,
side of city ordinance.
Those are the ones, yes, that we did.
Right, I got you.
George's is completely different.
so you guys are still doing the violent.
Well, he had just started, so this was towards the beginning of the
so we're
month
still
when they
doing it.
got
But
those.
even if the officers are out there,
And they
it,
see something they can still enforce,
They
correct?
still might do it. Just a question. I noticed DOA, that stands for what I think it stands for, correct?
Yes.
Nothing
yes.
suspicious with
No.
that though?
No, natural
just
causes.
happens. Yeah, okay. Just always concerning when we see that. So,
About the prostitution, was a streetwalker out here now?
Nope.
What was that?
Nope, that is one of the investigators' cases, which is stemming from the sexual assaults that we have going on with children. So it's just by the elements of the crime, this case meets the case for prostitution. So that's one that he initiated and was able to file at the DA's office.
Can you elaborate on the discrepancy between Officer Franco and Sergeant Palomares?
On the,
the
yeah,
126,
Yeah.
he
And-
explained last time because
yeah,
the sergeants helped him
she-
with the
Oh, I know.
investigation.
yeah, so she's been given investigative duties now, right? And Officer Franco is, and I want to say strictly patrol, but he does still assist at a minimum level because we just have too many cases for it just to be us. But for example, right now, she's knocking out the cases from this past weekend, right? That's to get it sent, because when you arrest, one of the arrests was a juvenile, and with that loaded handgun. Actually, both loaded handguns were on juveniles. When we arrest a juvenile, we have 15 days to get that report to the DA's office. Not like an adult where we can take time to, 15 days, everything.
90 days for adults.
For the adults, 15 days, body cam footage, dash cam footage, all reports, all stuff, everything's got to be sent to them. So that's what she's working on today, right? Tonight on her day, she's doing that. But while Officer Franco's out there patrolling right now, she's doing investigative duties.
So is she going to be added to the closed cases section in your report?
Absolutely. I was thinking about that as well because she submitted cases to the district attorney's office this past month too. I don't have the number on that, but she will definitely start being on the next month because, for example, she's submitting this case, right? It's going to go tonight to the district attorney's office. So she'll definitely be on next month.
Do you intend to submit a request to the council to allow you to advertise to hire another sergeant, someone to help with the investigation and the patrolling?
So I have interviews coming up next week
But
for
you're not advertising?
patrolmen, just to get let's fill these 2 patrol spots, and I'm hoping to hoping to get Sergeant Palomares to just start assisting us full-time in investigations if I can get those 2 patrol spot. Still be dual role, like I came out this Saturday, helped with these suspects, did this, helped with the arrest, processed the evidence,
Absolutely.
but more of a refined investigator role. And we can, if it's in the budget and we had, you know, Fred and Mark there, those line items are there, let's just fill these spots because we need people on the street too, so,
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
yes.
Any other questions for our police chief? All right, so then let's move right along. Agenda item 7H, fourth quarter 2025 tax pool investment report, presentation of quarterly investment report with possible discussion and or action.
So, actually, it's not the fourth quarter of 2025, because we do things on a fiscal year. I'm considering this the first quarter of fiscal year 2026.
Yep.
Since we work along a fiscal year here. And you'll see in your packet 2 reports. First, if you look at the one for October through December of 2025, you'll notice this report is in compliance, I believe, with the Texas Code, the section that we're required to follow, as well as in compliance with our ordinance that dictates what should be in this report. You'll see at the top in paragraph 2, I indicate our beginning and ending balance. So again, October 1st, our balance was $132,483.53. We earned $1,335.43 in interest, bringing us to a balance of $133,818.96 by the end of December 2025. You'll also see I gave some overview information related to the portfolio. So I provided first a table that outlines what type of investments the tax pool is investing in and what percentages in each type of those portfolios. So, and again, the weighted average on all of these is 39 days, and the total amount that tax pool has invested across the board that we're part of is $36.2 billion at the end of December. The last table in the chart is actually required by code. I didn't do both the book value and market value because the nature of tax pool has both of them being the same. So what this says is what exactly each of those funds are invested in, whereas the previous table just says the type of funds. This dictates the funds, where they're at and how much is in each one. I'm not going to read all of those, but it explains where the $36.2 billion is invested. And I present this to you all as our first quarter of fiscal year 26 investment report. Any questions on this new format or what I have in there?
Excellent.
Thank you. So I will tell you that the report, and this is one of the reasons why I've requested a delay in providing this, the report for the second quarter, which is the report that ended March 31st, I created this over the weekend, and because they didn't have their, tax pool didn't have their report out, I pulled the numbers from February 28th from their report that they issued on March 1st. So what I've done, they did eventually get the new report out for March 31st, the end of March 31st, so I updated this report with those numbers. So the table at the top of the report you're looking at matches what's in my new report, which is that we started with our ending balance from December, $133,818.96, and we earned $1,220.59 during that period, bringing our ending investment balance as of March 31st to $135,039.55. The maturity rate is still 39 days. The report that you're looking at is going to indicate that these are the assets as of the February 28th, but I have an updated report which I can ask the city administrator to share with you. And it's as of March 31st. The actual investments at that time were 39.7. I realize the report you're looking at says 40.5 billion, but it has changed, as did the distributions across those in types of investments, with the first one being, as of March 31st, 47.3, the second one being 25%, third one being 24.1, and the last one being 2.6. Again, not much of a variation in the distribution across the type of investments. And then the last table, where the assets are at for the portfolio, the tax pool. those numbers have changed all except for one of them. So I'm not gonna read all of those to you. If you wanna see that before you vote to approve that, I can definitely get the city attorney to send that to you. This won't be a problem in the future if we delay it until the second meeting of the month. But this is the format that I intend to use for our investment reports in order to ensure compliance with the Texas code. And I'll make sure the city administrator has the updated report for the second quarter so he can share that all with you. Sorry. Any questions?
Do you know what kind of return we're getting overall?
You have to do the math.
Yeah.
So
1%.
it looks like about 1%, because if you take
1%.
the 133 divided by 1335, yeah, it's about a 1%. Very good at the fast math there.
He's a finance master.
I think we can accept, let's talk about the first one. That one has no issue. The second one, we can discuss the first quarter for 2026, or the second quarter for 2026, however you want to explain it. We just need to update, we just need to accept it with the current numbers. So as long as he makes those changes, I don't see a problem with that.
Well, I made the changes, I just didn't email him the correct one last
Oh,
time.
okay. But I mean,
You know my late night emails.
no, I got you. It doesn't necessarily affect our numbers, right? So,
No, the number in the table in item 2 is still accurate.
Okay.
Just the distribution of where the funds are at across the entire tax pool, and the total amount invested went down from 40.5 million to 39.7 billion, excuse me.
a lot of dollars.
It is, but there's a lot of folks investing. That's one of the other tables that's available, but not required to be in the report, so I didn't put it. But it lists how many of various types of organizations are part of the tax pool.
So I think we can accept in my opinion, we can accept the first one as presented, and then the second one we just accepted based off of the updated document that our mayor pro tem has provided, our financial officer has provided to the city administrator. Just so that that one is the one we point to. But it's up to you. Make a motion whenever you're ready.
Derek, move to approve or accept the item 7H, the fourth quarter 2025 tax pool investment report.
I'll second.
All right, I got a motion from Alderman Tremblay and a second from Alderwoman CJ to accept the fourth quarter 2025 tax pool investment report as presented. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion will carry.
Let's see if I get this right. Move that we accept with the stated corrections, the first quarter 2026 technical investment report.
All right, I have a motion from Alderman McNeil. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second from Alderwoman CJ to accept the first quarter 2026 tax pool investment report with stated corrections as explained by our mayor pro tem. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. Knocking on 8 o'clock, does everybody need to take a 10-minute recess, or do you want to power through? All right, let's keep rolling. Agenda item 8A, discussing possible action to appoint CCRB members as required by ordinance 2026-270. Alderman Walker, Alderwoman Walker, and Alderman McNeil, you do have the floor. We'll be heard in any you.
We're discussing on the members, we need a total of 5. Did anybody have anybody else come forward? We have 4 right now,
Does that include Coffindeffer?
Mr. Coffey.
So he's 4. He would have
So
4.
we still need 1 more, and at least 1 alternate would be nice.
Do we need to
have.
vote to approve Confident for being on there, or is he just accepted because he turned in his application?
He turned in his application, I still need to get his, actually, he didn't turn in the application. he expressed an interest. I still need to get his NDA and his background check done and
Right, but before you do spend those expenses, do we need to vote for him to be on the council, or is he just automatically on there? That doesn't require city council approval for him to be on the committee?
Needs to pass the background before we can do so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so. I did it when I was sitting on the other side and it didn't come to a vote on the, city council that I'm on.
so we still need one member. Did anybody have anything?
I did, I've been advertising twice a week. I got one guy, but I think he's just being facetious. He replied in Spanish, you can count on me.
I've been talking to a couple of people and can't get a commitment. So I guess we still need to actively search for preferably 2 people, at least one.
Okay.
What if I went around and asked my neighbors if they'd be interested?
Yeah, do whatever, yeah. However you can get people.
There's certain requirements, and those requirements are listed in the ordinance.
Background check, citizen, but in this community resident.
Well, I think as long as you tell them that, I mean, you can approach whoever you'd like to see if they wanna fill the spot.
It would be easier if I was notified, or if it comes to the city secretary. Now, we've already discussed it, or the city administrator, let me know, so that I can
Yeah.
get the right paperwork to everybody and have everybody on the same page. And bring it to council.
Okay, well then let's keep recruiting. Alright, let's move on to 8B, discuss sort of possible action regarding digital accessibility improvements, including website accessibility compliance, agenda media management systems, PDF accessibility standards, and their role in community development, including authorizing the city administrator to enter into a contract with selected providers. Dr. Johnson, do you want to take this one?
Yes, sure. So this has been on the agenda the last 3 agendas. So what we're looking at in your files there, the totals on how much it would cost. One of the issues that we run into is Venture doesn't provide the codification. So I know the council would like a full package. So Venture as well as Code E. Code E is just a codification service. We do have a total of 5 of those. And I did rank them by the least expensive. One of the good things about Texas AI is that they are willing to do a documentary, and the documentary alone is like $15,000, but they high-speed drones that would come in, get pictures of our city, as well as possibly interviewing some of the former council members, current council members, mayors. So I think that's really important to having that documentary. I like those guys. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of experience, so he's a veteran-owned business and have a lot of experience with municipalities. However, it is worth the shot. Next, we have Revise, who's been around a while, when I would say they would be able to compete with Civic Plus, which have a really good reputation, however, it's really expensive.
Dr. Johnson, did you provide all 4 quotes, or you just provided Texas
They're all
AI?
combined into a single one.
Yes, they're to the
In
same
which
room.
document? Because I see,
So it
I
should
see
be,
8B, I see Texas AI, and I see,
Texas AI Revive Civic Plus Ventures, all in the title, if you read the full title. But the recommendation list that you provided us last time didn't indicate that Texas AI was the best choice. So what's changed to make you say Texas AI is the best choice?
Yes,
Because that
ma'am.
wasn't the recommendation last time.
yes, ma'am, it would be the cost over a long term. So we're really happy with Civic Plus. I think Civic Plus does a great job. However, just that annual fee, we're looking at $35,000 a year. Revise, it sounded like the council was excited about Revise, which I like them also, but when we're looking at costs, can we have a company with that
That wasn't the
charges
one that was
less?
recommended in the
That was
last
the
chart.
one we thought we liked, right?
Yes, ma'am. I don't believe we made a decision. We had
No, I
talked
was
about
talking
Revise.
about your recommendation, but that's fine.
Oh, yes,
um,
ma'am. I do
But
remember.
you were mentioning that Venture doesn't include the code, but neither does Texas AI. He's going to pay for it for the first year, but it's not part of the package. It's still something we're going to have to purchase separately in the future.
It was my understanding it would be included. So I think the last recommendation I made was venture. However, she did tell me during the conversations that would include the entire packet. And then when we got her on the phone, she said that no, it does not include codification. So that's the main reason we had
That's
changed
the
my mind
main thing
about
we
those
need.
guys.
Codification.
We need codification, we need ADA compliance.
We need ADA
Yes,
compliance,
that's what we need.
codification is
That's what we
secondary
want.
next to that.
Right.
So I've read through all of these and I do have some questions, but before I do that, I would love to hear from Alderwoman Walker, since she has the most experience in this area, given that's her profession.
I still lean towards Revise or Civic Plus. They have a better explanation. To me, they have a better explanation, and they include, as part of their website building, full platform implementation, whatever they want to call it. If you read their document, it includes sub pieces of the website that are important, like the SSL sheets, codification services, all that is included in it. And my second would be Revise. I'm not so keen on the Texas AI consulting. I read their explanation of their bilingual website redesign. The way I read it, they're taking our existing website and making it bilingual. They're not redoing the website. And that might be an oversimplification, but it might be something they want to explain in deeper detail. And it doesn't talk about the hosting or the SSL sheet or anything like that.
Okay. Now, when I look at the comparison that the city administrator provided us last time, there's a lot of things on the second page that Revise does not include.
Correct.
But it is included, a couple of them are included in the other two, and a lot of them are included under the, which one is that? The venture one. So that, and one of the things I noticed offhand is it doesn't include online payment integration, permit and license management, facility reservations. These are things that I think could be useful for us to use. That's included in the other one.
And see, I think that that is included in the Civic Plus.
Yeah, Civic Plus includes the online payment and the permit license management. It doesn't include facility management. Yeah, so Civic Plus has more things. And then under the Revise, there's a lot of things in the price that says plus, 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 adding a lot of dollar amounts for additional things under the Revise. Is that the one? Yeah, Revise listed as several things. Oh wait, no, that was Texas AI I was looking at, not Civic Plus. But yeah, so there we go. So Civic Plus does have the online payment, the permit,
Right.
and it doesn't have the facility, but it has mass notifications.
But I think when you read their full out breakout,
Which one?
what's included under for Civic Plus. I think that is included under the community portion of their documents.
And my other big concern with all of these is that, especially Texas AI, there's a requirement to provide all the code within a specific amount of time. And our codes are still not cleaned up. They are still a mess. There's no way that we're gonna be able to meet any kind of quick suspense to provide them clean copies of all of our ordinances. It's just not gonna happen. It's not clean.
Who's working on that?
Yes, sir, that'd be myself.
Gave it to the mayor 2 years ago. He still can't find it.
Is there an issue with doing the website?
Say again?
and doing the
What was that comment?
codification?
I says, I gave it to you a couple years ago. We just can't find
Oh,
it.
cleaning up the,
We can't find the ordinance. You've been trying to.
Yeah.
They're missing. So I don't think, just because the city administrator's looking at it, we're gonna get a quick resolution.
Is there an issue with doing the website development and the codification separately. I mean, if we went with Venture, that 21.6, and then we do codification on itself, by itself, it's another 10 grand. We're still at, 41, about 42 to include codification and the website design. Whereas if we go at the others, we're not getting codification and they're all over 40,000. They're up to like 60,000.
Well, with the venture, she said that if we selected a codification software,
She
she
could
would
incorporate.
integrate with it, so that would give us the time, that's a
That's-
good point.
With Venture.
Yes, with
Yeah,
venture,
that's-
that's a valid point.
I mean, looking at it that way, I think I think that would be our lowest price. Still getting the job done, what we need to get done would be, around 43,000.
That
Well,
would
I like
be-
that interactive with the citizens for payments and all whatnot.
Yeah, that's not available without add-ons, I think, with the revised one that Alderwoman Walker was mentioning.
Isn't Ventured
That's a
the
sole
person?
sole proprietor, so is Texas AI, both of those are single
Both
individuals.
of those are.
Right,
Yeah, that's
and
what-
that's why I mentioned Civic Plus and Revise.
Yeah, but Civic Plus is significantly more
Yeah, I mean, it's
expensive.
almost
It is
100,000.
significantly more.
94,000.
Has Venture
Yeah, but
generated
you're paying for
other city
expertise
pages?
too, right?
Yes, ma'am, they
That's
have.
what I was
Yes,
gonna
ma'am,
say.
and I
Yeah,
will.
so
Paying for
she's
the
got experience that Texas AI doesn't, at least she's got something she created. That was the other thing I liked about that one, is at least she's got experience doing
Right, I
it.
mean, she's doing the website design and development. She's not so much doing codification. The codification would be a whole separate.
Right, but she'd integrate with it, she
Right,
said,
yeah.
for the cost that she quoted us.
I mean, that's,
Civic Plus is used to doing municipal websites
Yeah.
and having the functionality that we would need as a city. That is one of the positives for them,
Yeah, I mean, they're a big corporation.
and they would be able to get it done in the time frame we need.
Well, it looks like all of them are gonna get it done, with Texas AI being the closest to the deadline. But the cost difference, they're like twice as much when you look at Civic Plus. That's my concern. I mean, is it worth their experience to pay twice as much?
You're gonna pay for it one way or another, in my opinion, right? Like, you're either gonna pay it up front, or you're gonna pay a bigger price now, or
Right.
these two companies are gonna go kaput, and I don't know if they are or not.
I mean,
And it also includes more items here. You know, the accessibility,
What's
the
Civic Plus?
meeting management,
My concern is we try to nickel and dime this, right? And then it's gonna still cost us more, because we went with a company that's not capable of doing it.
we don't know that, but
Sure.
within the contract, you have stipulation in the contract for failure to deliver. I mean, then there's penalties that they have to pay as well. I mean,
Sure,
No,
but
they
I mean,
don't
if
pay
they're,
them
if they're
a bunch of
bankrupt, what
money.
are they gonna pay us? Nothing?
Yeah,
I mean, think about it, but really, Alderman Tremblay, I mean,
that's true.
that's my fear, right? Like,
yeah, well,
But Venture has experience. They're not as big, but they're local, they're in San Antonio. They're not a big corporation.
they did provide examples, right, of municipalities, they've done this for.
Municipalities, yes, and they do have about as many yeses as Civic Plus does, but not the high cost. But what is the duration associated with those costs? I think both of them are
And
going
then you
out
have
4
to
or
get
5
an
years.
outside codification from them.
correct.
Yeah,
We'd have to get an outside.
Yeah,
so we still have to pay for that.
but the 10-year cost for Venture is 150,000. 10-year cost for Civic Plus is almost $500,000.
Yeah, let's go with the Venture.
So, yeah, I mean, they're not the cheapest. Venture is not the cheapest, but I think they're better than the one that is the cheapest. Again, looking at the table that was provided last week.
And Revive is, where are they at? Are they pretty,
Venture was the lady, right?
yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
yeah, Venture was the woman on the,
On the top,
yeah, we didn't see her, we heard.
Is it Revive or Revise? What is it?
Revise, I think I spelled it wrong, REVISE.
Depending on what document you look at.
I think there's a Z in there.
What was the cost on that? It was pretty,
That's
Pretty
the
robust.
cheapest one, but they're
Revise?
missing a lot of things that we want.
oh, they are?
Yeah, they
Oh, I
don't
thought they
have the
were
digital
robust.
forms, they don't have the online payment, they don't have the permit license. They don't have the facility reservations, there's a lot of not included.
Oh, no, we don't want that.
Was Ventured the Yankees? Is that the person? I'm trying to remember who was who. Right?
Yeah, I believe it was.
So Venture has
She
all
lost one.
that?
No, I'm just kidding. But that's how I remembered her. That's how I remember.
Venture has all those balls and whistles, bells and whistles?
You have this in your
I
list
know,
from
but I
last
can't
year.
find it, I'm not smart enough.
It's just in the meeting from last time. So these are what the comments are. This is revised, this is Venture.
So I'll be attempting to make a decision this
And
evening.
then, looking at the different reports, my other question is, what, I know the city administrator's gonna have to manage this contract and get it done, but what level of involvement, if any, will the city council have in approving what's being developed for the city?
Well, that needs to be in the contract.
Right, but again, some of the things said that everything's gonna be decided by the city administrator within like 10 days of getting it.
Yeah.
And so, before we authorize the city administrator to move forward with getting that contract, I think we should evaluate what kind of involvement do we as a city council wanna have in reviewing what the city administrator is approving.
Well, I think we're gonna tie him up, and he's not gonna be able to make a decision in time. Which I don't think there's gonna be a problem if it takes 2 weeks to get back an answer, but I think adding another layer of approval is not good.
That would slow things down quite a
Right,
bit.
right. For the website, right? I mean, if anything, it's turnkey website that just replaces what we have.
But I don't wanna just replace what we have. I don't think what we have is very good.
No,
It needs,
we won't have
it needs a
GoDaddy
major
anymore.
improvement.
Thank God. So again, I think there needs to be not just one person that's been with the town for 3 months deciding what's best for the town.
Well, he could report to the council his progress.
Well, yeah, he will of course do that, but like, what level do we want included in the contract to allow 2 weeks for approval so that it comes to the city council, or do we not wanna put that in there? And, I mean, that's my question out to the council.
Are we
Or
gonna
do we
read the
tell the
contract?
city administrator just to go do it and approve it all himself?
Are we gonna approve the contract, is what you're saying? Put it
No.
before us?
No, I'm not saying approve the contract. I'm saying approve what's being delivered for
Oh,
our
okay.
city website to
Over
represent
time,
us
over time.
over the 6 months or whatever time frame that she's gonna take to develop this. I mean, maybe I'm being overly concerned and no one else is worried about it, and that's fine, but
I
I mean,
understand, but
for that matter, I mean, we could, I don't know, I was gonna say, but that's a lot of,
because the implementation time frame is 8 to 12 weeks. So if we add another month or two onto that because we want to include city council review, I don't think that's all that devastating, since we have a year from now. We
It's
have
gonna
until
be more
April 26th.
expensive. If we had 2 more months, they're gonna charge for that, I'm almost certain they would.
Yeah.
Right?
they will.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, right, she's not the cheapest, but she's certainly not the most expensive, so, you know, like, and then she's, you know, sort of a small business, so I mean, maybe she's willing to allow for that. But I mean, I think, again, right, it's not supposed to be a direct replacement of the website, but at the same time, the functionality still needs to be there, right? That is a normal website. We have departments, we have meetings, where we shouldn't have to discuss that in council, that we want to have those same tabs, right? That we wanna have the same, you know, the adding of, yes, of like permits and things like that, yeah, of course, that should come to council. But the basic functionality should remain exactly the same, right?
But there's stuff that's supposed to be on our website that's not.
Jermaine's gonna
And
ask you.
that's her expertise,
Yeah,
right?
right, that shouldn't be an issue. I think the whole justice thing is to make it ADA compliant. Everything that we have on our website currently needs to be there.
Yeah.
Now, surely there will be changes as we move along, and those,
And that's
all
fine.
that should be
If
included.
nobody else
in
is
the-
worried about it and wants to just let the city administrator run with that, then that's.
But he's
that's
gonna
the
ask
choice.
the mayor, what do you think about this, what do you think about this, I'm sure, because that's
Yes, sir.
the
One of the
way
things
it is.
one of the things I can do is not just ask the mayor, but the entire council,
Right.
different phases. So once we pay that first phase, council, you're fine with going to the second phase before we move on. So yeah, you guys look at it based off
It could be
of
milestones,
what we.
right?
It could be
As
milestones.
the
yes.
phases, yeah, I mean,
Correct.
even just that much would be,
Sure, on the-
appease my
you can-
concerns.
Sure, when it gets to the design approval, they can come to the council.
You know,
great.
Because
Yeah.
the execution, the contract execution, are just gonna get her.
And it doesn't
something.
even have to necessarily come to council, it could come to us via email, do you have any concerns with moving to the next phase? And then only bring it to council if anyone expresses concerns with what he shows them, or what he shows us. I mean, I just think that we should have insight and not just go do it, see it when it's done, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. There should be milestones that we check in on.
Milestone checkpoints, if they have phases in them, I mean, just before we move from phase 1 to phase 2 type,
Yeah.
and not necessarily bring it to
design
council, send
approval.
an email.
Will be approved by council.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that could be inserted in the contract.
Well, if you say approved by the council, then that means it has to come to city council. Do we want it to come to city council, or are we good with just
For the
email?
design
Well, that
approval,
that part can
Yeah,
come, that
okay.
can come to the council. I don't think that'll hold up the whole process.
No.
It'll be-
No, not
She's
too
gotta be
much.
smart with it, so as soon as she feels like she's getting to that point, you've gotta trigger it to be on the meeting, so,
And if need be, call a special meeting.
yeah.
That's true.
It's a deadline.
Is she gonna find us a codification? Are we gonna
No.
select our
No,
own?
No.
I mean, we've got several different offers from in here
Yeah, eco.
that we can pick. There was E-code, there's Texas AI mentioned something different. So, and Civic Plus itself has a codification
Yeah.
software. We have that one,
Unicode.
They listed at 10 grand or
Unicode,
something.
yeah. Well, who was that with Civic Plus?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
Unicode.
That
But
sounds good.
Unicode is not part of Civic Plus, that's a separate
Correct.
thing. So we could even go with Unicode, who was offering the plug-in, and their services were pretty comparable to everyone else we're looking at. So I think we can look at those individually. We have the E-code, we have the Unicode, which we've seen the demo, and I thought that one looked pretty good, and the effort they put into cleaning that up and making sure everything looked good. As long as Venture can integrate Unicode, E-code, Unicode, what was the one Texas AI mentioned? Because they mentioned something, different code
Yes.
codification software I hadn't heard of. And he had a reason for wanting to go with them too. That was a new one he mentioned.
If we go with the Vision, what will we be paying up front to begin with?
With
First
revised,
payment.
sir, that would be 58,000. Well, the first payment would be 14,700 if we were to go with revised.
What about Venture?
Venture, yeah. What would be the first outlay?
And all of them are between 12 and 15, I think.
Venture
Okay.
shows 7,200 at contract execution, and then another 7,200 at design approval. The
That's
design
good.
delivery and approval.
Yeah, you can't necessarily go by the highlighted yellow, because the ones that don't have codification, some do, some don't. Some, for instance, Civic Plus has added together both year 1 and year 2. Whereas other ones are only for year 1. The highlighted price, the total price.
Civic Link is the codification software that Texas AI mentioned. And that was the first time I'd seen that name.
Yes, ma'am. He's saying that's a lot cheaper than Medicode. I haven't looked at that exact price, but it's included within this package.
Right. But just something we could consider if we went with somebody that didn't include it. I understand he was gonna pay for it, but I thought the price was comparable when I read his, was comparable to what Unicode was asking, as well as what Venture was saying E-code would cost.
Ecode 360 is roughly 10,000.
Yeah, so is
They're all about the
Unicode,
same,
so is Link Q, the Civic Link that ends with a Q, not a CK. So they're all right around 10,000. So all
I think Ecode is just better known in a larger
Yeah.
outfit.
Yeah, but Unicode showed a lot of cities that they've been doing.
Unicode is good too.
Yeah, I think they would, and they're comparable in price. I was very happy with the demo that they gave to us.
And when would we, how soon would we start that?
All of them require us to have our codes cleaned up, and we're
I know.
struggling to find everything.
So we're not gonna make any kind of a deal with codification until we get our codes cleaned up?
All the contracts or all the proposals indicated that we were going to provide readable PDF files
Oh,
of our codes within so many days of contract issue
For the codification.
for the codification.
Right.
So until we are confident that we can do that, I would advise against not signing a contract for codification.
So if we went with revised and we just didn't do, we held off on doing the E code until we can get our stuff to where we can have a PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we went with revised, we wouldn't have the digital forms, the online payment, or the permanent license management that we have
I like that.
with,
Venture.
we have that with Venture, we have that with Texas AI, and we have it with Civic Plus.
I need to read the revise again. I thought that was, part of their website build out in their package.
With revised,
I thought so. In their 60-some odd page
Yeah. Big old proposal.
proposal.
I think it's add-ins to the price that's listed.
For
So it's in addition
E-code?
to the price that Revise has already provided. So that's why they're the cheapest.
No matter who we select, we get to keep everything if we change or discontinue the service.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just have to transfer it to someone else to host it. But it's our material, we own, we have copyright, whatever it's called. Special kind of copyright. Yeah, it's our data, we own it.
All right, so what do we want to do today? Do we want to give you some more time, CJ, or all of us some more time to reread the
I like
contract?
Alderman Tremblay's suggestion that we move forward with the ADA compliance and look at the codification as an option once. I know we wanted to try and do it all together, but I like his idea of getting our code cleaned up before we pursue the codification. Because nobody has it all inclusive.
Right, it's all separate.
Everybody has to
Yeah.
do a separate codification
Unless we're waiting
software.
until next fiscal year to do the ADA compliance, because we've got till
And we
April
get till April next year,
27.
yep.
So I mean, we're
Yeah,
trying to do this now, we actually have a whole year.
Yep.
But at the same time, we want to do the E-code, right? We want to get
yeah,
that
eventually E-code has to get done. Well, I guess it doesn't have to
The
get done.
codification would be nice.
Right.
And what tool we use to do it.
And you're saying revised doesn't do everything that we want it to do, doesn't have the build out for billing?
No, it doesn't have that
It
in
doesn't?
Revise, no, not without paying extra for add-ins. It's not included according to this, if you look at the comparison table that, Dr. Johnson gave to us last meeting, cause that's what, I'm looking at, and it lays out what is included right next to each other, and I mean, that was a great format comparison that you did there. I don't know, Mayor, is that something you can pull up and share? It's in the March 26 folder. That way they can see what I'm looking at. It is okay. If you guys had the ability on your tablets to access the March 26 folder.
I'm trying.
Yeah, so Venture has 3 milestones, each with a cost of $7,200. But they say they'll coordinate the codification on our behalf. So that cost might change if we delay the codification. But I think that'll be true with everybody.
Something about this link is not working for me, so, no, I can't pull up anything. I don't know if it's my internet or something.
So the last meeting, Revise, they did not include codification. However, the next day, they sent out a different contract proposal, which is the entire package. Codification, ADA compliance, and that was the second cheapest. Texas AI, they provide the entire thing as well, everything that we need. The only two that doesn't is Civic Plus and Venture. E-code is its own codification, own codification system, as well as Unicode. I would recommend starting, even though we don't have our ordinances cleaned up, perhaps going with Unicode, just due to the fact they have lawyers, they have attorneys, they have people that would go through and get it cleaned up like help us identify those ordinances that are missing, and we can fill in the gaps there, and they take hours. I mean.
But we
these
already
people
know
get-
which ones are missing and can't find them.
Yeah.
What their lawyers are doing is looking at it to be legal. Yeah, are we in compliant with current Texas code, given that it was written 5-10 years ago? They're not gonna be telling us what's missing. You already have a spreadsheet that tells you that.
Correct.
And them telling us the same thing isn't going to help us find it any faster.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we wanna take a vote and select someone today, or?
So- Well, I like Alderman Tremblay's opinion of moving forward with the ADA compliance and making a selection on codification later.
Here, I mean, if we've got the funds to go forward with it, I assume that we move forward and get in compliance sooner than later.
Right.
Because everybody's gonna be rushing come the fiscal year, so. And you say provided a revised update that included codification, but wasn't it also just a plug-in? Another tool, it wasn't a revised tool, it's something they're going to plug in.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's still no different than all the others. No one actually provides it as part of the conversion, they're selecting a tool that'll provide that service for us.
That's correct.
Which means everyone's gonna have a separate maintenance fee to keep that one going. Yeah, they're using E-code in their new, I just found it in their new proposal. So, I don't know, what does everyone else think about what Alderman?
I'm fine with that. Get in compliance and then you have more time to look at these other items.
They're missing.
100%.
Do we need to do anything else to move forward or?
Well, we need to make a selection and then make a motion for the city administrator to move forward with a contract with the city administrator, city attorney, to get with whoever we select. And I believe our decision was the milestones need to come to the council for approval. Or phases, whatever terminology is used in the proposal.
Motion for revise.
Do you wanna make the motion since you've got all that, or I can?
Do we want to go with revised though? They don't have all those capabilities.
I thought you said revised did.
Revised does not unless we buy plugins.
Oh, no, venture, I saw it.
Venture.
Venture, yeah.
And this is just for
So
the
what
ADA
venture?
piece, right?
I'd
It's
vote
with
for
ADA
venture.
compliance, and they don't list in their package the E-code, so, and she said specifically that we had to outsource it, go with another vendor for the codification. So if there's no other discussion, I'd move that we move forward with Venture Soul LLC on the website development.
Okay.
And that's with the administrator annotating in the contract that the council will approve the design approval.
Milestones, you wanna add in?
The milestone,
But is it gonna include codification? We're gonna pursue that one.
No, we'll do it later. This is just for the ADA compliance on the website design, development, excuse me.
All right, so I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Crickmer to authorize the city administrator to contract with Ventured Soul LLC for website development and to incorporate into the contract city council approval of milestones. Fair?
And we're gonna include the contract shortly and create the code codification later on, or are we just gonna pursue that later? Because her current proposal indicates that she would take care of negotiating or coordinating our
If you want to
codification.
include in
I mean,
the
she can still
contract
do it.
with
I mean,
the,
it's-
Right, I know, but that's what I mean, because her proposal says she's going to do that, should our contract, just for a discussion, should our contract include that we need 30 days, 60 days, a certain amount of time to clean up our code before we have her pursue the codification aspect of that? Are we just not gonna mention it at
contract will
all?
include inclusion of codification within 3-month period, 90 days. We can do it by that time.
Her timeline is 8 to 12 weeks, so.
8 to 12 weeks. Well, that's for the for the website
That's
development,
implementation.
but to include the E-code, how much time do we wanna?
Not
How
E-code,
much-
codification. E-code is a
Codification,
specific.
how long do we want to keep that window open?
Yeah, I think we need more than that. I mean, unless we're just bringing them all to the table, not all of them, but like whatever's missing to the table, and we're just going through it and we're saying, is this still good, is this still valid, if not, rescind it, if not, approve it, that we get a new one on the books and go from there. Can
So
we
the
do that? Can we
contract
do
will
that in
be
3
for the
months?
website development with the option to include
Codification.
codification within a 6-month period.
All right. Can we
That's
just
good.
say at a later date? Do we
6
need to be
months.
specific?
6 months is good.
All right.
If the vendor will allow it.
Yeah, she's gonna be getting money, man, she can allow it.
Do we need to put an NTE on here? Because I'm guessing she's gonna give us a different quote with that change.
Well, at this point, at this, and we're not including the 4-year, the concierge for 4,800, we're not doing that part. We're just doing the 21.6.
And without that
So
concierge,
it's-
she can still meet the timeline that's required by the state
For this part.
for that
Yeah.
part.
But I'm just asking, do we need a not to exceed, or do we just leave the
Well, we can put
city?
not to exceed, that's what the cost is there, so we can put an NTE, not NTE 21.6. Because this is just for the website development, this is just for the 88 lines. Now, the cost, when we go ahead and go in and want to do the codification, then it's gonna be another cost for to incorporate that, I'm sure.
Do we need to include that in the motion?
I mean,
Just saying
does
that
this,
we have an option to include it
I mean, I think,
within 6 months.
Yeah, but if we include that option and keep her on the hook for 6 months, you don't think she's going to raise the price a little bit?
Well, she's gonna be managing the website for the whole year,
so why,
Oh, okay.
why don't we just make a motion to have the city administrator work on a contract with Revise with the amendments that we're talking about, and then
With
bring it back,
Revise?
with the Ventured Soul, whatever, with Ventured Soul,
I would
And-
bring it back.
huh?
I guess that's time. We do have time for him to bring back the contract.
Yeah, right, he needs to go ask, if we kick this can 6 months down the road, are you gonna change your price?
Mhm.
Instead of saying, oh, well, what if they do this, what if we do that? Well, what if there's an Iranian war that we don't have to do this anymore? So, I mean, let's just get it on paper, right? We selected the vendor, let's get it on paper, and then let's have him bring it back, like a actual working contract.
Like we were doing with the towing RVP.
Right.
That's
Our
good.
request for proposal. We say, here's the contract, here's the person we want to go with, now work out the details.
Yep.
But what we may end up having to do, and I'm gonna kick this over to the attorney, if we give this vendor that opportunity, don't we need to go back and give each one of those vendors the same opportunity?
That's part of the contract negotiation, right?
Yeah, no, because I think if you select your vendor, then the contract comes back, you don't have to accept the contract, but then you can go with the next selection, if y'all don't agree with the contract.
Because all we're doing now is asking for a contract, based on the proposals that everybody had a chance to submit.
Okay.
Because that's what we did when we were doing the towing company. We approved to come back with a contract, came back with a contract, there were issues, throw it out the window and start over again.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
So the motion is for the city to have the city administrator negotiate a proposed contract with Venture Soul LLC to provide website development, support and services with the option of adding codification at a later date.
Taken.
And bring that back to the council with the cost.
Okay, so
All right.
the motion by Alderman Tremblay and second by Alderman Kirkner It's authorized the city administrator to negotiate a contract with Ventured Soul LLC for website development services and codification at a later date, and to bring that back to council when it's ready. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, let's move along. All right, discussion or possible action on an ordinance amending number 2020-166, providing for business regulations of peddlers, solicitors, and vendors, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, providing an effective date. Alderman McNeil, Alderman Tremblay, you do have the floor.
Was this gonna be the second reading?
Point of order, Mayor.
Yes.
This ordinance was not posted under the second reading portion of the city website to allow the citizens an opportunity to review it. Therefore, we cannot have a second reading of this to adopt it at this time.
Okay,
I agree, it is not.
if I might just go ahead and address something else that's come up, the state just passed, the legislature just passed a bill making it obsolete for vendors to get permits or licenses from cities. The state is gonna start issuing permits to food vendors, food trucks, beginning July 1st. So cities will no longer be able to charge them a permit.
Has that been approved? But you said the legislator passed it, but the
Legislature
governor
already
signed
passed
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's effective 1 July.
Okay.
So we'll be out, although our ordinance is still gonna be able, we can still regulate where and when trucks can operate. We will no longer be able to charge them a permit fee. It'll be issued by the state, the health inspections, and all that's gonna be coordinated to the state.
But we can, should we update this ordinance then to
We'll
require,
need to, right.
but we should require them to file their state
Yeah,
registration
with
with
us.
us.
If we allow them to operate in the city, which we
I mean,
pretty much don't have anywhere where they can operate.
which we could search it ourselves, too,
Yeah.
right? You know, if we see them parked here, all you gotta do is go into whatever.
Make them
data-
bring it in.
Oh,
so the
sure, make them
code
bring it in, but
enforcement
if they
has
don't,
it.
yeah.
So, yeah, so Cassandra, I guess you hadn't heard that one, or you hadn't,
No, I haven't seen that one.
yeah. It was on the news a couple of days ago, and I did read it online as well.
But that's
But
July.
yeah, we'll have to bring
Alright.
it back and redo the ordinance
But for
either
this
way.
one, we did not get the second reading, so then let's table it for now, and we'll bring it to the next meeting. after
Should we
you
get it,
post
should we get this published and do the second reading? Or because we'll
Yeah.
have to redo it again come July.
July, and we're gonna do it then.
Yeah, because no one's gonna really wanna pay an $1,800 fee to register.
Right, or even just a 2 or 3 day permit here, but
Right, but the
Still.
main purpose, the main change within this isn't the fee, it's the fact that
where?
we're clarifying and making it very obvious that it cannot be in a residential area. And I think that's the main thing we need to have in here.
Right.
And then we can come back
And strip the
in
fees out.
June and pull the fees aspect out. That would be my
Yeah,
recommendation.
and I think our code enforcement officer is well aware of I think on one of his reports I read, where he hit up a food truck operating on Priest Road. Was one of the
Yes, I
violations.
saw that.
Well, that was ours.
It was yours?
That was ours.
Oh,
Taco truck on Priest Road, that, I'm not gonna give it to him, that was ours.
I think I saw you buying tacos first.
Taco truck on Priest Road, that's ours.
But he
So-
did get one on Mathis Road.
Are you aware of the portion of our website where we're supposed to be posting ordinances that are up for a second reading?
Yes, ma'am, at the very top there.
Yeah.
I will get that posted. Well, so we don't want to post that one tomorrow?
No, we do.
No,
Table
we
on
need
it?
to.
We want
It-
to, okay.
It must be posted the day after the first reading and remain on the city's website for citizens to review for a period of at least 2 weeks prior to bringing it back to council for the second reading.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I get that posted.
So we're gonna publish this as is
We're gonna
and bring
post-
it back for second reading as is?
Correct. Alright, so then if there's no other
Good
discussion,
catch.
let's keep it rolling. Alright, 9A, discuss and possible action to adopt a resolution approving a policy on vehicles for emergency personnel, including assignment to department directors, investigator, and city administrator, eligibility, graphic restrictions, and usage guidelines. Dr. Johnson, do you wanna tee this one up, or you want me to give it a shot?
Yes, sir. So I was looking at maybe possibly allowing the directors as well as code enforcement officer to be able to take his vehicle home, to just switch up the schedule. For example, work on the weekend, Saturday and Sundays, where people are not expecting him to go out and provide inspections And it would be helpful for him to jump in his company truck to go out, because he should be in the field most of the day, right? So he'd be in his truck with the computer there and take that vehicle home and be able to work on the weekends. As well as, we heard the example of Chief had to come in this week using his personal vehicle, right, to block off vehicles, to block off another vehicle. That right, there's a liability to our city and can cause a lawsuit. So personnel that can possibly be called in on the weekend, I would recommend that they able to take vehicles home in order to just get to any emergency event a lot faster without having to come here and get check out the vehicle first. But, yeah.
In both those instances, both individuals are coming to town anyway.
Yes, ma'am. He was a little different. Chief's was a little different due to the fact he was going directly to the emergency, so it was a little different. And he blazing. I mean, him.
So I agree with the chief taking it home on one with one exception, right? That he's in alignment with his patrol officers. So if patrol officers are working those days, I think it's okay to take home a patrol vehicle, right? Because if he gets called in hot pursuit, he's blowing through Priest Road at 100 miles an hour, and if he gets an accident, I mean, I'm just making it up, but if he comes down Priest Road at any rate of speed without sirens blazing, right, he's at fault. So that's my only justification for the chief to take it home is when your folks are on patrol, take it home, and then when they're not, leave it here. It's all good. That's my opinion. I think that's a good instance.
But why did they call the chief instead of calling Bear County for backup?
Because he's their chief. He still needs to
So
respond.
the chief needs to be like site coordinator.
So I will say on this past weekend, I was the closest one because I live 12 miles away. There was no deputy closer.
I'm not opposed to the idea of our code enforcement. I don't know how much on the weekends we're gonna work, if we're gonna even tell them that flex a day and work on Saturday, work on Sunday.
I'd just be concerned that they have a secure place to keep the vehicle at their residence, whether it be in a garage, a fenced yard. I mean, I just don't.
But code enforcement isn't going out on pursuit. Why can't he come to City Hall,
Sure.
get his vehicle,
He just
and
lives
go
across
out?
the highway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't
I
disagree with
mean,
that.
why?
Yeah, he's not far.
Also, just want to have that resolution out there because we do have our detective who takes vehicle home, so we have it in like on paper there. This is allowed, those type of things.
But I am not comfortable doing that resolution, which is a blanket approval. The personnel policy does allow for the city council to make exceptions, which we did in the case of the lieutenant. We've made an exception, we've added insurance, or additional coverage, roadside assistance, and cost. The other concern I have is, you were just telling us last meeting how much money we're spending on maintenance on all of these. So having them run across town and back with our city vehicles is going to add on the maintenance cost of our vehicles, which you are already saying are in really poor shape. So then we had the extra cost of having to do the roadside assistance on them, like we did for the lieutenant's vehicle. So
If they have their city vehicle available at home, who's to say they won't jump in it and do personal business and run up the mileage? That's,
I mean, you gotta trust your people to a certain extent, John.
why you don't trust us?
no.
Our tablets are locked down still.
Oh, I
I'm not the
understand
IT
that,
administrator
but, I would probably jump, if I was in that position, I would probably jump in my city vehicle and take it from time to time. Just because it's a matter of convenience.
It is outlined in the personnel policy, the do's
Yes,
and
it
the
is
don'ts.
for business use only.
Uh,
I mean, but this goes back to the point that I made 6 months ago where we should have trackers, right? We should know where our vehicles are, but that was not approved. But nonetheless,
We don't have that?
no.
It
Yeah,
may-
I think at
part
this
of-
point, we made an exception for our investigator. I think it's probably where we need to draw the line for cost.
I tend to disagree. I disagree only because of this specific instance, right? When they're on patrol,
When there's
it makes
no
sense.
patrolman
If
on
they're not on
duty,
patrol,
you
then
should
they
be
would-
able to have your
that gives them
vehicle,
3 days a week.
your
that
city
we're taking
vehicle
home in
with
case he
you.
needs to be called.
not when
The
they're
lieutenant,
on
he has it 7
patrol.
days a week
When
in
they're
case he
on
needs to be
patrol
called.
is when
And
I
I
need
get
it.
But I think we need our people to be able to respond to back up their people if they need the assistance.
And why did our directors need it? That was the other comment
Yeah,
on
that-
this.
That was my question.
Why did the
directors and
who are our
city
directors?
administrator need it?
Why does the
I-
administrator need it?
I didn't draft that up, so.
No, ma'am, so I
So-
did
so-
draft it up, I can outline that, but in the event, for example, a emergency Priscilla with Public Works there have to rush out to do something with a snowstorm, something like that, but that's something I can definitely, that
We're
can
really
be
gonna get lots
notified.
of snowstorms.
Well, it's just an example, but yes, ma'am, I can definitely mark
Yeah,
that
I don't
out.
see why the director would need one. I don't see why the animal control director would need one. Why do you need one?
Oh, no, ma'am, I don't, so that can be modified, that's.
So can that be modified to take into account for the chief to, where it matches his patrol, when his guys are on patrol, like the mayor's talking about?
That's a decision for you guys
That
to
would
make, sir.
be for the chief of any of them, primarily. I mean, the rest of them not so much in favor. Chief's not too far away too.
Yeah.
But like you said, he was out there blocking the traffic.
But he wasn't in uniform either,
His own
so.
I was in
Why do
uniform.
we need,
No, I was not. No, I was not.
How did you
I
fix it?
was not.
Oh,
I was in
yeah.
my personal vehicle. I put on my badge and
Yeah,
my
the badge.
You
gun
weren't
and
in
stuff, but I
uniform,
wasn't.
you weren't in the city cop, you should have just come to City Hall and got him.
Maintenance.
No, but the point was, I saw them. I wasn't gonna come to City Hall and then
3 times
lose
a
them.
week?
It's still a cost.
Come on, man, come on, man.
But we,
Yeah.
You know,
we do
24
need to-
miles.
we need
but
to-
if we make an
I'm all for
make
tracking
an
the mileage
exception
on
for
the
individual
vehicle.
That's not what the mayor previous
No,
proposal was, I'll tell you
yeah,
about it
no,
later.
it's not on the agenda.
It wasn't a
Well,
track
I'm not a-
mileage.
No, but I
I'm
think
not opposed on making an exception for the chief for
people
those
should
3
keep a
days
mileage
that
log
are
on
needed,
their vehicles.
based on the given outlines of business use, et cetera. I'm not comfortable with making it blanket.
Yeah, that's how I am, it's specifically for the chief, so he can respond to emergencies and back his guys up.
And it-
Only if he's gonna do it in uniform.
and
He
if
should
he-
not be coming up in a city vehicle.
So,
In
hey,
civilian clothes.
I'm pulling over a guy, I'm arresting them, but can you change your clothes so that way you can?
Even if
come
it
in
was just to
uniform?
throw on that shirt, that's still better than coming out here,
Ma'am,
not,
I get it completely.
because he's not, he doesn't
You
look
could
like a
have a
police
vest
officer in
in your
civilian
vehicle to
clothes.
throw
But he
on.
had his badge, right? So I mean, that's all you need. What about all the ICE people, right? All they're wearing is their little vest and their little badge. What
And
about,
how many
what
of
about,
them are getting attacked?
what about
They're
FBI
investigating.
people, right? They got their, you know, the investigator doesn't wear a
He
uniform at
doesn't
all.
wear a uniform at
So I
all.
mean.
But this is for the car stuff, we're not talking
Yeah, yeah,
uniform.
yeah.
car.
Yeah.
So you're right,
That's
let's
true.
pull it back.
So,
But if we made, I think personally that we should make individual exceptions as it arises. For instance, I don't have a problem with the chief, 3 days a week when it's necessary.
When his officers are on duty after
Right.
hours.
Correct.
Right.
I do for everybody else on this list. That might change somewhere down the road,
Yep.
depending on circumstances.
Yep.
But that could be an individual exception, just like we did with the investigator.
Do we want to bring this back with some kind of caveats and modifications?
Well,
to
no,
it?
because it's in the personnel policy, right, that we can make an exception on a case-by-case basis. So we don't need an ordinance to do this, right? We have the personnel policy, which allows us to make an exception if we needed to. And to be fair, the chief did not ask for this, so I just want to make
No.
sure that that's on record, that he did not request this, right? This was a conversation between Dr. Johnson and myself. Given the situation, we thought it would be a good situation to discuss, because it's not the first time. This is actually the second Easter that he's had to come in an emergency basis. So it was just a good opportunity. And the details aligned, we just wanted to have the discussion, right? The answer could still be no, but I think it does make sense on the days that his folks are on patrol.
Can we do no action taken?
If that's what the motion you want,
I mean, if it's just the chief, you identified the vehicle, you know which vehicle you're gonna use.
Yeah, well, I'd like to get those vehicles running, so maybe 1 week the Impala, the next week the
Well, we
Taurus.
wanna insure one vehicle.
Oh, got you.
So.
We have to have
you
roadside
identify the
assistance to
vehicle.
the vehicle like we did
So
for the
you-
lieutenant,
You'll need to
Okay.
identify the vehicle.
given the
that
quality
you're
of the
gonna use.
vehicles.
We're gonna add insurance to it.
Got you. Okay.
And the same kind of accountability that we imposed on the lieutenant, and
maintenance,
only if the
roadside
officers are
assistance,
working
we're
after
gonna do all
hours.
that, same as we did with.
If they're working after
Yeah, I didn't know there was
1700.
any extra involved in that, so, okay.
Yeah, during their, like, so if they work 10 to 10, he leaves at 5, he takes it home, right? Is that what you're?
Yeah,
Right,
if
right,
the
right.
officers are on duty, when he leaves
Yeah.
for the day at 1700.
Yep.
So if it's already in the personnel policy about the exception, is there any action for us to take?
We need to make a motion to have the exception, so
Yeah.
Well, I make a motion that we have the exception for the chief to be able to take home a police vehicle, on the days that his officers are working, what's it, after hours?
Yeah.
So that he can respond, to back him up as needed.
All right, I have a motion from Alderman McNeil to make an exception for the police chief to take home a vehicle during the days that his officers are working after hours. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Alderwoman CJ. Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If Delma can probably answer the question, did we add additional insurance to the vehicle that Rick takes home?
Yes, we did.
Well, we'll need to do the same for the vehicle that the chief's gonna take, so he'll need to let you know which vehicle it is so that we can do that and add roadside assistance, so that he's not stuck on the side of the road at 2 o'clock in the morning.
and that he only uses it to drive back and forth to the city. And I think I would request that Alderman McNeil modify your motion to include those two caveats to that as well.
I modify my motion to add the 2 caveats to the exception.
All right.
But I think it's already in the policy, right, that it's official business only, so.
No, it was for the insurance and roadside assistance.
Roadside
To add
assistance,
to the-
and that he only uses it for driving back and forth to the city.
Or on emergencies.
Well, hopefully it's only an emergency in the city.
And what if he's gotta pick up somebody and take him to downtown? Are you gonna let him do that?
Right.
So, I mean, you
Official
can't
business.
constrain them
Official
so
business.
much.
It's
Oh.
official
Official
business.
business.
No, he doesn't have to do that, he could get somebody else to
Okay,
take him
for official,
downtown.
yeah, because he's not in uniform, he shouldn't be taking them downtown to turn them into jail. The officers that are on duty should be doing that because they are on duty.
They're doing the
He's not.
investigation. He's always on duty, he's salaried. There's not a day that I should be able to call him and say, there's an issue coming over here.
Shall we vote?
No, we're still defining the motion.
Okay.
But we do want roadside assistance, we do
And
want
extra
additional
Additional
insurance.
insurance, that's all.
All right. All right, so the motion is by Alderman McNeil and a second by Alderwoman CJ to authorize the exception to allow the chief to take home a vehicle on days that his officers are working after hours, and to include insurance and roadside assistance for official city business only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Gotcha. All right. That was fine. All right, moving on to the next one. Discuss and or take possible action to approve implementation of an annual personnel performance evaluation policy where all employee evaluations are completed in July. I think this is a great one. Honestly, Dr. Johnson kind of just took the plan that I've been thinking about all along, because I hate doing them ever so often throughout the year. But if we can get them done in July, then they should be finalized by August. Then as we come into the new fiscal year, then we authorize increases for cost of living and additional increases for whatever the council decides to October 1 for beginning of the new budget. That's kind of the timeline.
Is that how it's done in the commercial world, where everybody gets their appraisals at the same month, or is it done on their anniversary?
That's how it's done on the anniversary.
Anniversary usually.
Really?
It
No,
also
well-
is usually,
Not where I work.
And I'll say my company, right, all of ours are in December, and then
Yeah.
come January, all of us got our increases. I mean, granted,
So
there's
it
one
varies.
sample size.
we got our COLAs in January.
Yeah.
Just so, I mean,
But
no,
we're not talking about COLAs, are we?
Well,
No.
No, I mean, but it.
This is
Performance
to make
review.
all their performance reviews come due in
but
July.
they don't
But
necessarily,
it says.
they don't necessarily, that doesn't necessarily mean because you got a rating that you're getting a pay raise.
Right.
They all go hand in hand.
But the COLA should be in alignment with the
The
fiscal.
COLA is,
The COLA
The
goes
COLA
to
happens
everybody
in
as
January,
Right.
after we get to, what the COLA is.
sure.
But
What I have a problem with this is it says, pay adjustments shall be determined based on locality pay scales and available budget, not performance ratings.
That's just possible pay raise.
Yes, ma'am. So with that, we just did that to streamline it. For example, here in July, right? So if Dama, we say Jeremy works under Dama, she would evaluate him during that time. We would have all of these. We just use an example. Use an example there, all right? And then the directors, I would evaluate them. So we have all the evaluations done by July, and then during budget season, the mayor and the council just working on the budget there. We are looking at locality pay, so that would be considered, and then based off of performance, based off of those evaluations, October, we would pay everyone, like, if we do any pay increases, it would happen during that time. So it's just streamlining things, making it a little easier. But we're not guaranteeing any pay raises based off the performance, so we may not get any pay raise.
what is this locality pay? I've never heard that
No,
taken into
comparable.
consideration.
Comparable wages, comparable.
Comparable,
It's
yeah.
used in the federal government, you use the local
Yeah,
body.
they say
Because it's
locality.
different for everywhere
Right,
you live
right.
there in the
So,
country.
yeah, so that just didn't make sense.
So, the problem I was having was that phrase that says not individual performance ratings. I'm not inclined to give somebody an increase in their pay if I have not seen their performance rating.
I think they just need to have their appraisal on their anniversary of their hiring date. It just keeps it simple. You know when they were hired. And it's not trying to do 10 performance ratings in 1 month.
Right.
I mean,
Doesn't matter to me.
And they're
And what-
still gonna come to council.
that would mean our code enforcement guy we just hired is gonna have one before he's even been here
Right.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be,
I know, that's how the military does it, but it doesn't make sense, and it's a lot of burden on those that have to do it. Just makes more sense. It's not that hard to remember when somebody came to work.
That's pretty hard.
So, because the city administrator even includes it in his weekly report to
It
us.
should pop up on the calendar automatically.
Yep, you can put it as a
What
report.
calendar are you looking at that shows them?
The city administrator has a calendar that he
If you
uses.
add it.
Correct, that's what I'm saying. You add it to the calendar and it pops up.
Yes, yes. But I don't remember that either, so. I
it
remember to add it.
doesn't have any effect on budgeting when,
It has a big effect on the budget.
that's what I'm saying.
That's why the raises should only be done in October or November. When you do the,
Okay.
on the
That's what
new- on
I'm
a new
saying,
budget
you
year,
should
it's
do them
when-
once
for
a
January.
year, all at the same time because of the budgeting. But if they just piddle in here, there, and everywhere during the year, it's,
The mayor's flexible when he does that, when he figures out the budget, because we have a pay scale, someone's gonna be making within this amount that's
Mhm.
included in the personnel policy.
All right, so do we want to take no action then on this one?
Sure, just have a question.
Sure.
Alderman Woman CJ, are you worried that you won't get to see the evaluation during that time? Because you will.
That's what
it
it
will.
appears to say.
Oh, no, ma'am, no, that's not the case. So it would go through their sections, so the section directors, they would do evaluation. I will do evaluation of the directors, but however, those evaluations will go to the council and mayor to make a decision based off
To
of
make an
increases.
approval.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
you're gonna recommend a pay raise and we're gonna approve it?
Correct.
Yes, sir, yes.
If it's necessary.
But you will be able to see all evaluations, all at once.
So each department, the department head is the rater.
Yep, so
Yes.
Priscilla would rate Mike
And the
and Jay.
reviewer is,
The
It'd
city
be- it'd be my-
administrator should be the reviewer.
Yes, sir. And then the 4 directors underneath me, I would evaluate them and then provide everyone evaluations to you all and be like, based off of this, maybe not a pay increase, even though it's October, but maybe not an
And the mayor
increase.
rates one for the city administrator.
so do we want to leave them as they are, or do we want to go with July? What do we-
I like the idea of centralizing them, but it's also, I like it for the purpose of we reduce one more item on an agenda every few months, right?
No, but it's just gonna be one really big
But then
item
it's
on
one, yeah.
one
So I
agenda.
see that point too, right? There's definitely
It's
that's,
just one
that's
time
fine.
we gotta do a lot. It just makes more sense on your anniversary. Let's take a look. What have you done for the last 12 months?
Have you met or exceeded expectations for your job?
Because employees come and go all the time.
It
And if
would
we're trying
be-
to adjust everyone to July, regardless of when we hire them. Most of them are not gonna have a full 1 year in their first report.
Police officers come and go.
It would be over
Everybody
a
else is pretty
period
consistent.
of time
It's been our police,
by
it's been
department
rolling.
in a 2-month period, something like that.
Lisa? There's part-time, we expect it. Anyways,
I'm not sure what you're saying.
I'm fine with leaving it.
Instead of being all in
Not
one
taking
day,
action on it.
it would be, the departments would do their valuations the first half of the month, the second half of the month, the next month's first half, the next month's second half.
He's recommending that the directors are tasked to do theirs 1 month, and then the city administrator does the appraisals on the directors the next month,
No,
or,
the completed product comes to council.
oh, separating
2-week
when it
period
comes.
for one department, next 2-week period for another department, next 2-week
I
period
see.
for another department.
I recommend no action on this one unless somebody wants to make a motion,
Yeah, I
so we can
recommend
move on.
saying,
okay,
No.
no action, moving along. Discussion or possible action on a resolution declaring the disposition of surplus municipal vehicles and authorizing the city administrator to dispose of them pursuant to applicable procurement regulations.
So I saw the pictures of these vehicles, but what are these vehicles?
So that's a
And
patrol
when did we
vehicle.
purchase them?
That's an old one, that's been here longer than I have. I'm looking at your pictures.
The Impala,
That one, yeah, that one's been here longer than I have. So.
So that one's
that
a
was
old.
our first police vehicle.
Yeah, so that was our first police vehicle. That's a current police vehicle, which I do not recommend that we get rid of.
Yeah,
Which
so,
one?
but when did we buy this one?
Which one?
The Malibu.
Oh, okay, they're talking about.
That's the ghost car, right?
No, the Tahoe's the brown one.
The brown one. I mean, this one's got the City of San Diego's
Yeah.
Police Department on it. And we're trying to get more patrol officers. Why do
Right.
we want to get rid of it?
Correct. And
I
that's
mean, how
why-
old is this vehicle? How long
It's
have
a
we owned it?
2012.
How long have we
2012,
owned
we
it?
probably owned it 7 years, if I had to guess.
That's not the ones that we just bought?
No, it's not.
You're talking about the ghost car.
Correct.
And what about the animal
We
control
have that.
vehicle? That
We
looks like
just
it's
got
in
that
good
one.
shape.
Yes,
We had
yes.
it like
Why do
7
we
or
not
8
need the
years
animal
ago.
control vehicle?
No, so I did place those on there, so, oh yeah, so the Impala there, within the last year, we spent like 7,200.
No, not the Impala. It was that was the.
Oh, I'm sorry, the animal control vehicle, we spent about $7,000 on that, and we have had complaints that, due to the height there is causing back issues with some of our staff personnel. And then, we would have to put more money into it for, alignments and those type of things. And we talked about, like, one reason we would like to give Chief a vehicle, because a lot of these maintenance issues happen with these vehicles just sitting there. So that's another reason we would like to get Chief on the road there, so that.
Yeah, well, that's already taken care
Yeah,
of. We don't
yeah,
need to
that
talk
is.
about that.
But
So,
we just got that one
we
last
just
year.
purchased
Yeah,
this
I mean,
animal
I'm-
control vehicle. How many other animal control vehicles do we have?
One.
We will have one. So, and what I'm
Then-
saying, yeah, and what I'm saying, I'm just like listening to our staff and giving those options on. They believe like these are going to waste if we're not using them, and I
Because they choose not to drive them.
We have two
Because
animal control
granted-
officers that should be out on the streets every day, and
Correct.
if they're not, then that's the problem.
If
If they are not on the
That
streets
one's-
at
Hold
least
on,
one
let
a
me
day.
take a point of order real quick, and I will say
Sorry.
this, and I will, no, you're fine. I will say this, they have said that that one truck is too high, and I can agree with that, right? They're not tall ladies, right? They're not tall men. And it is probably harder to lift the dog up into that, but that doesn't mean we sell the whole vehicle, right? I think we gotta figure out another solution.
One of them looks
Isn't
like
that
a
standard
dog.
size for an animal control vehicle?
It
That should
is.
be an expectation for an animal control officer to be able to lift.
But can we not get running boards at least?
Correct, yeah, I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of money, but that doesn't mean we get rid of it, because it needs a little bit of.
The more
No,
recent,
We just
pur-
bought it last year.
right, the more
Costs us
recent
17.
purchase looks like an animal control vehicle, and the other one's the war wagon, and I
Yeah.
would get rid of the war wagon.
No,
No.
we have two animal control
Right.
officers. We need two vehicles.
Right, and if one goes down, what are they gonna do with only one vehicle? Sit
Yeah.
around? Like, that's not
Well, they
good.
gave it to code
They want to price
enforcement.
out running boards, I think.
Yeah, but
We need to
Yeah, I
determine
think, you know, spend a little bit
what
of money to
vehicle,
outfit that.
the age of the
250
vehicle,
would be a
how
good-
many miles it has on it, and the repair
the
cost,
enterprise
and
thing
then we
they were
put all
talking
that
about.
together and figure out which
The
ones to
the
get
patrol
rid of.
vehicle, again, I don't recommend to get rid of it, because if we were fully staffed, that would give us one extra vehicle, which is that white one, let's call it that white one. And that's perfect, because if something goes
Two
down,
Tahoe.
then
two
we at
cars.
least can put them in another vehicle and not sitting at their desk all day.
What was that big brown SUV?
Two
The
Explorers,
Big Brown
two
SUV
Tahoe.
was one of the first,
Yeah.
if not the
That was
second,
the
I'm
second.
counting
the
right.
second
Two
patrol vehicle
Explorers,
that
two
we
Tahoe.
had.
Well, the brown
Right now
one,
it's just
that's
sitting
not
around.
Tahoe.
Tahoe?
It's a Tahoe.
Okay.
Doesn't have any back seats.
It's,
It's pretty.
What's our next resolution number?
What year is the Ghost Car?
Ghost Scout, I think is a 12.
Public
So,
Works
it's
uses
older,
a big brown
But
one.
we've just put money into
I've
it,
seen
right? So
Priscilla
we've
driving the big
maintenance it.
brown one.
Right.
We should be driving it. Somebody should be on rotation with it, right? And I agree that if vehicles sit, that's how they rot.
Does that
Yes.
vehicle have all the necessary equipment?
Yep.
It does?
Well, no, not that. So Jerry made a mistake on the upgrade. We need another computer, basically. It's not gonna go up to a 12, the one that's there, so it can't be used right now, but
But you could use it to drive home and then respond in an emergency situation as an after-hour vehicle.
that would be perfect for
That would
that.
be good enough for that, not good enough for a patrolman.
No, because it doesn't have the computer equipment for the
So, but
report.
it'd be perfect for an emergency response vehicle.
Absolutely.
The little white Impala was our first vehicle.
It's a Chiefs vehicle.
It used to be the Marshall's vehicle originally.
Before that, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Tahoe is how old?
2012.
No,
Yeah,
Tahoe's
it's
a little
older
bit
than-
older. I think on 09.
10 or
Yeah, time.
Isn't it like missing part of the seats and?
Yeah, it only has two front seats.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So that came from Bear County.
Yeah, all of our cars were donated.
Yeah, that was one of
They
them.
would- They used that one to transport prisoners or something. They had a plastic
Yeah,
back.
yeah, the back seat. So in case they.
Animal control. No, animal control.
All right, I would move to adopt a resolution, it's not adopt a resolution, what do you do? Accept, I know, I'm gonna, but when's the proper term, Robert Rules for a resolution, it's not adopt.
They're not gonna use it.
Approve. I move to approve resolution number 2026 number to be determined, a resolution of the City Council of the City of San Diego, Texas declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing the city administrator to execute the sale or disposal of said property with the information for adding a description of the excess surplus equipment to be the Tahoe,
Let's call it Brown Tahoe. just
the
so-
brown Tahoe.
We do have white ones.
And this doesn't say how he's gonna get rid of it though.
No, they're gonna auction it off, I think.
I think it's a
Brown Tahoe.
It's all right. Actually.
And the city administrator to provide the city attorney with the year, so she can add that to the ordinance too. That's my, motion then.
So we're just gonna discard one vehicle, so we're gonna do it this time.
That's my motion, we can discuss it though. Now that the motion has been seconded, it's now, available for more conversation.
All right, I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman McNeil to adopt a resolution, where did it go? Resolution declaring the disposition of surplus municipal vehicles and authorizing the city administrator to dispose of them pursuant to applicable procurement regulations, specifically the Brown Tahoe. This is up for discussion.
I think, we need more investigation on which vehicles need to be just removed.
You don't think the brown Tahoe should
No, I
go?
think we can do that fine, but I think we also,
Okay, that's why I didn't include it. I don't think we have
Right.
enough information
Yeah.
to make an informed
Right.
decision on the other two.
Okay, is there any other discussion besides that? Let's take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. And then let's go on to agenda item E, discuss or take possible action on the sign proposal for John Rapino Park entrance. Alderman Kirkner, you do have the floor.
okay,
Sir, I think you missed.
You missed D, Delta.
Did I miss it?
Nine
Oh, you're
Delta.
right, you're right, you're right, you're right.
CDBG.
I wrote it on the wrong spot, that's why. Okay. Well, since you already have it queued up, we can just double back. So let's address E. And then we'll go back to D.
okay, I just got a notice from the guy I've been talking to. I've talked to 4 different people, and a couple of them one guy never got back to me. One group gave me a bid of $9,400. For this guy, here's his card, pass it around. Western Welding, His bid is not to exceed 6,100.
Didn't you have pictures of some work
Yeah.
that he had done in the past that you
Yeah,
could share?
I didn't bring them. They're
Okay.
in my phone lost, but, this was my drawing of what we want.
No relation to me, by the way, just to throw that out there.
I thought you were related to every Martinez.
I know, that's what you think.
We're all related.
Let me tell you what he said. So,
Is this installed?
yes, it's installed.
And that is what Alderman Crickmer drew and gave to the gentleman as a basis for him to provide that estimate. We still need to go back and actually get him to give a official drawing of what he will deliver and the contract to make it official of what he's going to recommend. But based on all the folks that he's spoken to, this seems to be the best deal that he's come up with. And based on the work that he's seen, he showed me the pictures too that this man has already done. It looks pretty good, the work he's done.
He gave me 2 references, I haven't called them.
How large are those letters?
That's what I don't know, I think 18 inches. 18 inches?
Total.
But again, this is our rendering, this isn't his, so he would need to provide the rendering, and we
This is
can
what
always.
he said he's gonna do, he hasn't given me a drawing. He said the sign will be 18 feet tall with a clearance of 16 feet on center and 14 feet on sides, using posts of 5-inch and arches of 3-inch. This is tubing, round tubing, and will be made on site and put on ground with concrete. That's what he said. That's all he's given me so far. He gave me 2 references. He's got his insurance now. He said it'd be more expensive if he has to get a bond, but I don't think he needs a bond, but that's for the council to decide. Does he need a bond, attorney?
Anyone that contracts or does work for the city typically needs a bond, but
Doesn't need a bond, well then the price will goes up to $7,500 with a bond. So that's where we don't have to accept his work, but,
16 feet, is that high enough for a 18-wheeler or a tractor trailer, bring a trailer in there, or a garbage truck?
that's
It's gonna
what,
be 14.
14 feet was the clearance, that's what I've been working with, and he's given it extra height, elevation.
My concern would be
Font, kinda.
the font and being able to see that. Is it gonna have a back to it?
No, it's gonna be,
You read it going in only.
Because if it's too thin against trees and
yeah,
everything, you're not gonna see it.
well, appearance-wise, it looks better than if they had a solid piece of metal between those 2 rails with cutout letters.
I wasn't
The
thinking
hard
of that either.
letters
I was
tacked to
thinking
the
of back.
bottom rail is much better looking in my opinion than with the
So the letters
people.
would be 3D on the,
Mm-hmm,
Right.
it's fairly heavy metal.
right.
I'm sorry I didn't bring any pictures.
Is that the picture of the one he did?
Yes, it is. So I was driving down 181
So
and I
it's
saw
just
this
floating
and I left my card and he contacted me and that's how we got started.
That's not too bad. I think among all the trees in the background, it's gonna be harder to see.
Paint the letters
As
white?
far as the cost center for this, I think there's only $5,000 in the park budget that last time I looked. So it will take money from elsewhere as well. From the general fund, I don't know. Any comments, any questions? What shall I proceed with? Getting him a bond, paying $7,500?
Can we see the rendering? Or
Get one
can
from
he do a
him?
rendering? Yeah.
I'll ask him. Yeah,
Because I
we're
mean, he
not-
should be able to.
He
do
should be
something,
able to,
'cause
yeah.
he's got a 3D, or not 3D, he has got a plasma cut, all that, so he's got to draft it somehow.
I wish I'd have brought pictures of all the examples. I've taken a bunch of pictures of different examples.
But I like it, I think the price is reasonable, I think we should get a bond, right? I mean, I think that's reasonable to ask for, of course it costs more for us, but that protects us in case he takes off, right? So we should be payable, for the bond, but
That
We can-
seems awful.
money-wise, we can-
Bond, $1,500 seems awful expensive for a bond.
That's cheap, actually.
Cheap
That's cheap, yeah.
for a job that's,
To be bonded, yeah, to buy a bond, yeah. Was it, what did we ask, I mean, that he's bonded for how much? I
The
mean,
price of the job.
Yeah, so the insurance protects him if he's injured, so he can't sue us, it's covered by his insurance. And the bond protects us, where if he runs away without finishing the work,
Right.
we get our money.
right,
So that's why, the city attorney's saying he should have both. But I think seeing a rendering, just, cause he didn't even give us a drawing of what
No.
he's doing before we do a contract and have him go,
well, he
Pay
could
for
get a
his
little
bond.
more specific as far as the
Dimensions,
lettering,
yeah.
and the font, and the size.
yeah, just better.
So we can proceed and continue, and, it's gonna be, now we're looking at $7,500 for the cost.
And money-wise, we can figure it out, right?
Originally, I wanted to put it where, you know, where they have the brick balusters to go in on the outside. We were gonna put it on the opposite side, outside of those brick. But then there's a overhead
Oh, line.
wire, which,
sure.
wire to a service wire to a residence that's right there. So we didn't wanna do that, doing the work above us, right under that wire, and that'd be kinda hazardous. So then, the idea is to move it into the park. And I'm thinking it's gonna look better the further we move it from the entrance. It goes down the slope a little bit. But that's, you know, I'd like some input on where to put it exactly. The $9,500 bid was on the outside of those brick abutments on the outside of the entrance. And that's just not real feasible. The other guy didn't want, he gave me about a $5,400 price, but he wasn't gonna do the installation. And I don't know if he was bonded or insured. He was an individual. And the other guy I talked to never got back with me. Any questions? I will proceed with the guy and get some more answers for the next meeting.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. But I like what you drew up.
I'm very concerned that I want this to be good. I don't want it to be, you know, all out of whack and,
It's gonna be a good tribute to
Yeah.
your friend.
I agree. All right, so then let's, just bring that back next time and work with the city administrator so that we get back on the agenda.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And email the city administrator the photo so he can include it, so everybody can see it, because I only have that one photo.
Yes, that was, I think that was one of his references, that job.
All right, so then let's move on to discuss and or take possible action to adopt a resolution accepting community development block grant CDBG funding for the Restless Deer Street reconstruction project in Sandy Oaks. So we do have this here. We did submit the application on the 1st of the month, on the 1st of April.
You've already submitted this application.
We submitted the application, yeah.
When did we approve that?
We approve the application or?
You guys, for the city to apply for this grant?
Yeah, that seemed like that was in the works before I was here. I don't
Because
recall any of
I have
that.
some concerns about this document that's provided to us.
Which document? The Jermaine Smith, the recap of the application?
This.
Uh-huh, okay, what are your concerns?
Okay, so one, how do we even pick this street?
I worked with Public Works and we cruised the streets as well as the city engineer provided recommendation.
2, project description. First sentence states, with a 2020 population of 5,500. Go down a little bit further, demographics. As of the 2020 census, the population was 5,075 people. So in 1 year, we had a change of almost 500 people. It was done at different points of the year. So definitely concerned with anyone taking this seriously with that kind of information. And then on top of that, the very next paragraph, we state that fixing this road, which is a dead-end road, off of a dead-end road, off of our main road,
Yeah.
is going to benefit a population of
Yeah,
3,605
that didn't make
people.
much sense.
How is that road getting fixed going to benefit that many people
Somebody
in a
wrote
town
that.
of 5,500 people?
Did the
So,
grant
I
writer
don't-
write that?
Yeah.
No, sir, that was me putting things together based off of other applications for Red Mountain Street.
Was that AI?
No.
I
That
just-
was me, the
I don't-
oversight.
We're lying.
That's the oversight.
This is on a cul-de-sac. and
Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac. That's off another cul-de-sac.
And
How
they're
are we
gonna-
benefiting 3,000 people in a town of 5,000,
And
or
they're
maybe 5,500, depending on which line you read?
I'm sorry. I saw something in there about PVC culvert. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they have to be plastic now. They can't be metal.
They can't be metal
I
anymore?
don't believe so, no.
They
Ooh,
still
we
sell
need to
metal
update our-
ones at
Ordinance, then.
Tractor Supply. I guess that's for the
Is that a
country.
Texas law?
I think so. I think it's a Texas code. I'll
Ah,
have to research it, but I know I saw that
Yeah,
metal
'cause they
can't
update our
be, can't be, it
Okay.
can't be metal.
Interesting. It's a good catch. I didn't notice any of that. So this is my concern with what we submitted.
Sure, no, I hear you. Jermaine, if you wanna go ahead and take it.
Yes, so that application's based off research that I've done. Also, the last permit application we did for Red Mountain Road. And I believe when those consensus, I did get those offline. So back in 2020, that amount of personnel. But then
Which
we
number
talked
though?
about-
You're reporting two different numbers. In the very first paragraph, section of this thing, it says 5,500, and then a little bit later in that same section, it says 5,075. So that's a 425 personnel difference, but both of them state the year 2020.
Okay, yes, that was oversight on my end there, with having that reviewed. And also I got some of this information from my engineer, so we kind of worked together on this. When we talk about like 3,000 people using that road, that's just over, I mean, of course, not within the first year or so, but just over a duration of time, this possibility based off of our population. But I'd definitely say it was worth submitting for that grant if we don't get approved. But it's definitely worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late to do anything about it, but this kind of misleading information in a grant is going to lead to us not getting it. The proofreading and being more legitimate with the numbers we're providing. Explain how you came up with 3,000. Because I see a population of 5. Look at what this road is. How is it going to have 3,000? If you explain over the life of the road, maybe that makes more sense.
More detail, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
the grant is for 600,000, and the cost estimate was 650 some odd thousand.
665, we're supposed to
Yeah.
come up with the 65,000.
We got to come up with the balance.
Correct.
Yes, that's what this grant proposal says. We agree to come up with the 65,000
Which-
on a cul-de-sac, off of a cul-de-sac.
But really, I mean, that just goes to show you what the price of a road
No, I
repair is
looked
these
at
days.
it on
Red
Google
Mountain,
Maps, and it's
Red
basically
Mountain was
unpaved
2
looking
years ago.
compared to the rest of the
that
road.
was just
I
under
know,
half a million.
but still.
Uh,
Yeah, it says we have cash on hand for 65,000.
Why not a main area
Because-
on a cul-de-sac?
Because think of it like this, right? And I hear you. That cul-de-sac was $656,000, right? It's just a small stretch of road. If you want to do a main road, right? Let's just say you wanted to do, Priest is a terrible example because it's so long, but you wanted to do Skyline, right? I mean, you're talking about double the price, so. I mean,
But if we do it in pieces, we could do it with the same,
Sure.
we can't do, we don't,
But
we're not,
if you
yeah.
cruise down Restless Deer, I mean, you'll see exactly why it was selected. I mean, it's down to the base, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
it
saying.
yeah,
looks
that's what he's
unpaved, looks
saying,
like
but I'm
base.
just saying, how would this grant get taken seriously? In a town of 5,000 or 5,500 people,
The-
how can 3,000 people benefit from it?
I hear
I
you.
think that was households, maybe that was,
Maybe. The good thing is I have a relationship with Bear County, so I can kind of lean into that. I didn't assemble this, so I mean, I'm not sure where the details came from, so, nor was this timeframe that it followed didn't allow for me to review it before it was submitted.
Yeah, it says
So-
it services 3,000 residents.
Yeah.
That road does not service
I
3,000
don't
residents.
disagree, I don't disagree. It was an escalated timeline, right? We had until the first.
Did we get it
wasn't- And it
in?
wasn't, yes, it wasn't submitted until the 31st.
But you're saying the city council approved this sometime in the past?
I
I
don't
don't
think
remember.
somebody's approved it. I don't think we approved it, right?
So this is just telling us you guys have already done it?
Right. This is the same grant that we do every year, right? And so the idea is, I mean, I don't think we approved the playground until we got to this point, till the application was submitted. Same thing for the restless deer.
When,
What's that, Joe?
no, it's something about the playground, which is not on,
Yeah.
not out of order.
Good. The dollars wise, right, that's obviously from the city engineer, right? I worked with him a couple of months back. Again, we've identified a road that was in desperate need of repair, and that's why that one was selected. Sure, there's plenty more that could be just as in dire need of repair, but this is the one that we settled on.
Okay, so,
It hasn't been approved yet, right?
The application has not
It's
been
already been-
approved.
But it's been
it's been
applied.
submitted, it's
Yes,
already in.
submitted.
And our portion would be 65,000.
65,000. Yep.
Assuming we do.
Correct.
That's just for situational awareness, right? Yeah.
So we have no action that needs to be taken on them?
We gotta obligate the 65, or at least approve the 65,000.
There's a resolution they want us
Right.
to vote on.
That's what I thought.
Needs to be included with the application, but the amount of the application may need to be changed in the resolution, because I think it was for 600,000, and then I thought somewhere it said the total amount.
Yeah, the-
For the grant.
Where the grant is, we're asking for
Yeah.
600,000, and we say we have 65,000 cash on hand that we're going to contribute. Yeah, I thought I saw somewhere it said.
Number
Maybe not
two.
have a total amount, but. so
Yeah, the
I
very
think it
top
needs
has
to
the
be
total
changed
amount,
for-
$665,000. 665,
656.5.
yeah, 656,000
The grant,
is the total.
grant needs to be 600,000.
No, total funding
Right, the
request
grant
is
itself is
600.
yeah, it says it up at the top.
That's not what it says on two though.
You know, my finger does not show what this is.
209.
I can't do it right.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the first
Okay.
one,
There were two different amounts
item
for the grant.
number two.
So I took the higher one.
It says the.
Yeah, so this
amount
paragraph right here says that that's the ground amount, and that's how much.
656,500,
This is the cost of the project,
500
656.5.
of grant.
and that was up at the top,
I thought we
on
just
the
said the grant.
page
funds
2,
were
at the bottom of the
600,000.
second page.
Okay, so that just needs to be changed in the resolution.
Yeah.
Cost is 656.5.
What is the cost to us for applying for this? Is there an
Nothing.
application fee?
No.
But the grant's only what, how much?
The grant is for 600,000, that, the application
Okay, the
says.
problem I'm having is on the very first page on number 2. It says that the application be for up to 656,500
That's what
of grant funds.
So it should say 600
Where's that at?
on
First
the
page.
First
resolution.
page, number
The
2.
Oh, on the resolution, I didn't
I was.
realize the
The
resolution.
application?
Yeah, that's what the city attorney was just saying, was that the resolution needed to be updated.
Oh, okay.
And if we're gonna make recommendations, I'd like to still manage the project. I'd like to be the executive officer on this.
Is that in this?
Yeah, paragraph 3, the first bullet
Paragraph.
states that the city administrator shall serve as the city's chief executive officer.
I mean, project
Chief-
wise,
chief
he can
executive
manage
is
it.
the mayor,
Financially though,
correct?
I'd like to manage the
It says the
finances.
city administrator shall serve as the city's chief executive officer. The city administrator is authorized to execute environmental reviews. If this application is funded, the city administrator is authorized to execute the request for payment forms, documents, and other form required for requesting funds for reimbursement.
So we wanna change that to the mayor? rather
You
than
can,
city
you can.
He is
attorney?
asking to change which of those three bullets to you?
The financial side mostly.
The last one.
Because, and this is where your cash flow question usually comes in, right? So what's gonna happen is we're gonna go through this project and we're gonna get to a point where they're gonna close it out and they're gonna ask for $300,000-$400,000. And so I need to know where we're at on the budget for that, so that way, when that check comes through and we get minutes approved, we can write it in time so that we can get reimbursed in a quick amount of time. Right, so it's just me managing the finances of it.
Yeah.
Because it's all reimbursable, right? So we're
But you're gonna make sure the work is done and done
Right.
properly in any of the properties that are damaged or repaired and
That is
not
correct.
left like we did on the Red Mountain to that one couple.
That was on Loman.
Yeah, it was
One of
low,
the
low
bridges.
water crossing,
Yeah.
But on Red
deep
Mountain,
water.
Red Mountain that was two different engineers.
Yeah.
Red Mountain's the better engineer out there.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
you're gonna have to give them funds before we receive the grant money?
No. So if we approve the grant, right, if we get the grant,
Get the grant.
right, we would, if it's $100,000 for mobilization, then we pay $200,000. That goes to the council for approval. Then on the next one, it's in the minutes, it's approved, it's published on the website. I send that to Bear County. They cut me a check for $100,000, not me, but the city. So we're funding it and they're reimbursing
That's
us.
what I'm saying, we're gonna be writing checks without getting money. We don't have the money yet, we're gonna write checks.
Right. But I mean, we would, if we can get approved, that's the only way we would do it. We don't
We
do it.
can't fund $600,000 worth of work.
I never said we were gonna fund $600,000 work. It's done in phases.
Yeah, it's
It's
bites,
construction
but,
phases. Yeah.
And
I
we have
don't-
to give them $100,000.
yeah, I don't think we,
Yeah.
I just,
We have the surplus, right? Like we have $500,000 in the account right now. I'm not saying all of that's obligated, but it's gonna come in phases, right? We did it last year,
is that a
right?
problem,
When
taking money
Tom
out of
Rapino
your
was around.
money
That much,
bag
yeah.
and
Questioned me on
then
it because
putting
we
it
paid
back
out
in
$250,000.
That much, yes.
I got it back though in 2
I mean, we
weeks.
can.
So it's gonna, I'm forewarning you right now, that's the way it works.
What you're saying is they won't give us the 600,000 up front to spend as we choose?
No,
No.
no.
They're gonna pay it if we provide the invoices.
Correct. We meet with the engineer, we approve the invoices, he signs off, we sign off, and then we cut the check, and then I take that check, I take our minutes, and I send it over to Bear County, and they cut the check right back
They
to us.
reimburse.
There's a whole process, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I have all the paperwork from last year when we did it or 2 years ago with Red Mountain. Not a
I'm
difficult
learning
process.
something.
But he's just asking to be in charge of the
I'm
finances
for
because
it.
he has more experience with it.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Oh, so on page 4 of the application at the very top, the question is what is the total amount of grant funds requested for the project? And that's where it says the total is $56,500. So that's like for the resolution, it's only the maximum amount. There were 2 different amounts for the grant request. And then the total cost of $656,500.
So it's accurate then, 'cause it says 656.
Oh, yeah, it does say that right there. So we do need to have the 656,500 in the resolution.
So I guess
It's in
it
the
just,
resolution.
whatever is being requested is
Yeah, that makes sense.
consistent with the resolution.
So that just doesn't match what's up there.
So we're requesting more than the grant is,
No, we have 2 different dollar amounts listed in the grant application. In one paragraph, we're asking for
right.
600,000, and then another paragraph, we're asking for $656,500.
Mhm. Because the grant is a $600,000 grant, and we need more than that for the project, so we pay the rest out of pocket.
Yeah, there's a 10% match.
Yeah, but we have
Which
2
is
different places in here, we're asking 2 different dollar amounts from the grant.
Is this the resolution from last year?
Sandra, is that the one?
Yes, this one was the resolution from last year. I don't know if Michelle got back to you on what
This is a different
she
one
also
from Michelle.
suggested. Okay, then I would suggest going with what she would include.
just to make sure we have everything that the TA needs.
Well, what we submitted last year, we submitted to Bear County, right, and they had nothing to do with it.
Oh, Michelle is not the
Yeah,
grant writer
Michelle's-
on this one. Oh, okay, then this is the one from
This is the one from last year,
Okay.
okay.
So what do we need to do?
I did not include the match, which probably needs to be included in the resolution though. Of what, either the percentage of the, or the dollar.
Can we edit the resolution?
Yeah, that's,
and
you
approve
just
it?
make a, you just move to modify whatever you're gonna modify. And then you move to, to take it as, it's not adopt, I forget the right term for resolution. The resolution as modified.
So I think, let's go back to the. I'm just gonna make it 600,000, right? Because that's what the application says. The application be for up to 600,000 for grant funds to repair, replace, and provide improvement to the rest of Steer Street construction project.
But that's not what page 4 says.
But that's what the other, that's what the other.
If you look at page 4,
Are you looking at the
where
grant
the
or
question is what
resolution?
amount of grant money are you asking for? It doesn't say 600,000 there. I missed that as well.
That's the grant you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Wonder if they'll kick it back for that.
There are so many mistakes in this thing.
There it is. So, oh,
It is at the
page,
top of that page.
page 4, yeah. 656,000.
I read the
total cost
grant.
completed.
It's what, 8 or 9 pages?
So then, then we leave it as is, right? We leave it as is for 656?
Yeah, I guess it's up to, and so it just won't exceed that amount of what the application is for. But then we would include the city match as well.
So then
In the resolution, or what the
772
city
or
would
whatever
match.
it is. 656.
If there's an amount required or a percentage required.
We told him 10%.
So do we just say 10% in the resolution, since it's gonna depend on how much grant money we get?
Yeah. Well, they would fund the whole amount. They wouldn't fund less of it. So they'll do the whole 656 if that's what we applied for. They're not gonna come back and say, we'll give you 500, right? Because then we can get the project done. So they'll go the full 656. So then it needs to be 721. Or we do the 656 plus 10% match.
But then we're asking
What's
for more money than we need, and then we throw a 10% on there, and it's more than the cost of the project.
Yeah.
I don't see us getting this grant.
What's the 10% for?
Just our
We have
portion
to match 10% of what the grant amount
Oh,
is.
okay.
So we're telling them it costs $656,000 to do this. We'll give you 10% of it,
Oh, so
but
the
still give
rest
us
of
the
the 65.
$656,000.
Yeah, I got you.
So we're asking for all of it.
So for 590, 400. Right, that's 90%.
So the grant, it's gone. So
It's
what-
already been
Yeah,
submitted. There's
so
nothing we can do to change the grant. We're just trying to figure out how to fix
how
the
to write the
resolution.
resolution?
It's gone. The application is gone, the grant's not gone, the
Yeah.
application is.
Yeah, the application for the grant that we see in our
Alright,
package
gotcha.
was submitted. The city administrator is asking us to adopt this resolution, giving permission to apply, submit this grant.
I guess I suggest the resolution, then it'd be what you want the grant for, not what was submitted. So if it was for, if it is 600,000, that is the number to include. And then with the match, whatever the match would be, instead of what is on page 4. because I think at the end of the day, the county will probably look at the resolution and the minutes that approve the resolution and what was authorized
Yep.
or requested.
But if we don't give them the resolution, then they don't look at the grant.
Yeah, they'll eventually come back and say, we need this.
It's a part of the application.
So we're doing 600.
No, not 600 either, because the total cost is 656,500.
Oh, I
So
thought
we
she-
have to subtract
I thought she was saying-
$65,650 from that amount,
Okay.
and only asked for 90% of that. So even the 600,000 is wrong.
So do we just, are we gonna try to amend it with the, but I don't know the numbers that we're putting in there. That's my
We
problem.
can't change the
application.
application.
Right.
The application is gone.
Right.
Mistakes are there.
But the attorney said we need to annotate something about the 10% match. in
The
there.
resolution needs to be updated. That's in the package that
Okay,
we
so-
have for this meeting.
Let me give this a shot, so. I move that we adopt a resolution accepting the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG funding for the Restless Deer Reconstruction Project in Sandy Oaks, Ware County. And ensure to annotate the 10% funding match by the city in the resolution.
What about the mayor's request to be added to replace the city administrator?
And to request that the mayor be the financial executive for this fund, replacing the city administrator.
Do we need to update the amount of the grant that's in that resolution as well, Cassandra?
Yeah, I think it's for whatever the actual dollar amount, the total that's being
The mayor
requested.
calculated it's like 590.
590,
That's
400.
really-
And to amend the total amount to 590, 400.
Okay. And to amend the total amount to $590,400.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. So I got a motion by Alderman McNeil and a second
Moving
by
along.
Alderman Crickford
Oh, you don't have to vote for a motion, just put it in.
to adopt
It's
a
gonna get
misconception.
done. It's gonna get done.
a resolution to accepting CDBG grant funding for the Restless Deer Reconstruction Project in Sandy Oaks, Ware County, with the 10% match, with the mayor replacing the administrator as the financial executive, and updating the amount applied for to $590,400. All those in favor say aye.
One more question
Yes.
before we do the vote.
Yep.
Do we always get these grants when we put in for them? I mean, what's the
No.
likelihood?
So I mean, last year we applied for the playground and we did not get it, right? That
So it's
playground-
the same group of grants that we're
Playgrounds.
applying for?
Correct. Playgrounds are just harder to get, right, from the county level. Texas Parks and Wildlife might give us something like that, but this one, the first year or 2 years ago, we got Restless Deer. I mean, we got
Red Mountain.
Red Mountain. We received that one. Then we missed the grant last year because we went with Playground, and then this year I'm hoping we get.
But typically when we put in a request, an application for a road improvement, they give it to us.
I mean, I'm 1 for 1, right? Which is not a big sample size, but I'm 1 for 2 when you consider there's a road and a playground. So I think we have a good option. In fact, they called me March 30th and said, "Where's our application?" So for what it's worth, they were looking for us.
History has not shown that we were favored in the past.
I
For
know,
whatever
I
reason,
just,
I think the county was dispersing the money
as
all
bad as
around.
this grant request looks though, it makes us.
Any other discussion?
No.
All right, let's take a vote on it. All those in favor say aye.
Wait,
Aye.
who seconded it?
All those opposed?
No.
Crickford, with 1 opposition.
Not me.
No.
No, you seconded
You
it.
seconded
She
it.
asked who seconded it.
Oh, sorry.
That motion
City Secretary
carries
didn't hear
4 to 1. All right, well, we just have one more.
I move to adjourn.
All right, it's now 9:44, we are adjourned.
It's a common misconception.